How about now?
No.
Damn. How about now?
Okay, I guess.
How about now?
Yes.
Now
Now I'm ready. I'm definitely ready now.
Are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Because you're live.
I'm ready now.
You're live. Say hi.
Hi. I'm here.
Hi.
I'm ready.
What's going on? Put the pants on. She has the pants on. She has the pants on
I have
today.
the pants on today.
It is the pants day.
Two kinds of wet in my pants.
Two kinds? Sarantis, what is going on?
I do not.
Hello.
In my pants.
Hello, nerds. Get some nerds in chat. Quick start there with Quick Raid. The pants. She has the pants on, like right now. She's wearing the pants. She came in this morning after shower time and stood like 5 feet away from me. It was all quiet, and I kind of like turned around and I didn't catch it at first, and she stayed there, and I'm like, something's up, and I turned around and I'm like, it's the pants. It's the pants.
It's the pants.
We had to go. It was so funny because we had to have a meeting today with our landlord and about a new building. And so we met him at the new building, and Jen's in the pants. She's in the pants.
I was in the pants.
And so both of them were like, is that your face on her pants? It's a father and son team. The son was like, is that your face on her pants? I was like, yes, it is. Ah! And then the dad was like, it's weird. It's like, I'm looking at her and you're looking at me. Oh, it was so good.
Good times.
So good. Sarantis, thank you so much for dropping them off. Nearly 12-hour stream shattered.
What?
Yeah, get some rest.
Yeah.
Those are not easy on you, especially if you're like sitting the whole time.
Was it a special event?
Is it a birthday? Have a good one. We will catch you on the flip side. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. We just literally turned on the stream when all of you guys jumped in. So we're going to get going. And today, we've got some fun stuff planned. Jen is continuing to work on her Privateer Press bombshell model. And I am going to be starting a Necron. I said that we would do this. So we're doing this.
He's a man of his word.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far, but at least we're painting the Necron. We are going to be painting this guy, Mr. Three-Legged Crab Dude. That's not his real name, I don't think. But
It should be.
it should be. Rancid Vomit, what is going on? I felt so bad. We were so busy, and
I know.
Rancid Vomit came by the office today to pick up an order. He lives local-ish. And he came by to pick up an order, and after he picked it up and left, I was like, you know what? Like Rancid Vomit, when we get situated, we owe you like a,
Yeah, like
next
a
time you
tour.
come down, we owe you a walk through the studio and all that. It would have been a disaster today.
We can't even move.
We can't even move around.
You saw. I mean, you did see like the little
the back
glimpse
end.
you saw was.
Which is actually the good side of the office right now, which is scary to think.
They're about equal, I think.
The front side where we're streaming from.
Which we had another pickup today that came in the front.
Yeah.
And also got.
I had asked the poor lady. I said, "Yeah, could you just stand here in our luxurious foyer?" it's like you can fit a body, and then
that's it.
like it's just surrounded with boxes. Here, take a moment and enjoy our luxurious foyer. But the good news from today, not to jinx it, is that we may be looking at a new building soon. Yeah, next time, Rancid, it might not even be here.
Yeah, it hopefully will not be here.
We have been really excited about the people that own our building are a nice family, just great people. We love them. And they bought another building here recently, like in the last 6 months. And we went over and looked at it with them.
Yeah, it was right before the pandemic because it was before the lease.
Right before COVID
was
and all that,
this? Right? Yeah, before the
Right
lease
before
on
we
this
got
was
this
up.
enlarged
Yeah.
and grew out into this unit here. And it was just too much because it's a huge building. And
At that time.
Now, 6 months later, and we're like,
It's
hey,
not too
can
much.
we get a huge building, please? we need a huge building. That's what we're doing. So we talked to them today. It's awesome. And it looks like we're going to get it.
Sounded really good.
Signs point to positive. And we might have a very nice large installation coming soon, which would be absolutely phantasmal. What's my rust effect stuff? Do I have any that's actually open? I should. I don't. That one?
It is. It's just over on 16th Street, like 16th and Osborne.
Close. Sort of close. That one I have not used. Probably going to go back to this one, and I'm going to open it, and it's going to, oh yeah, this has already been used. Okay, well, we'll use this one. Modus, what's going on? Is there a good, cheaper airbrush you recommend? So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of airbrushes that you can get at low cost. We have some people in stream that have used the Masters airbrush that you can get like off of Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. Like you can get it with a compressor and the whole nine for fairly inexpensive, right? And we've got people that have been using them forever. So I think it just it depends on like if you're learning airbrush, then I'm a big fan of starting with something that's affordable, and then using that until you get all of its life out of it, and then you've decided by that point whether or not airbrushing is for you. You really like it. If you're just using it for a priming device or base coats, you're not really asking a whole lot of it out of like detail work, then you can stay with low cost brushes forever because they will work just fine. They're just the difference between what we call a high quality brush and a low quality brush is the quality of materials and the kind of the tolerance of the build, right? They use cheaper metals. Those metals don't fit together as well. The needles aren't as good. The nozzle's not as good. So it just has more play to it. It doesn't, get as detailed of a spray, things like that. That's the only thing that separates the Harder and Steenbeck from the Masters airbrush is the quality of components. The design is a design that is a very simple machine. It does what it does. There's not a lot of tricks to it. There's not a lot of magic to it. You can make a cool feeling trigger. You can make it more ergonomic. But at the end of the day, it's a suction device that blows air through a hole and pulls paint with it. It ain't really high tech. So the cheap ones still do the work of the big ones. They just don't do it as well and as defined. So it's really a matter of the detail work is harder to do with the low-end airbrushes than it is with a high-end, more expensive one, for sure. But with that being said, spend what your pocketbook allows at the beginning and be happy with it. Learn the airbrush, get comfortable with it, understand what it does, learn how to clean it and break it down because they all are very similar. None of them are exactly the same, but they're all very similar. And so once you get all that dialed in, then you'll be ready and you'll say, yeah, I really love this. I need to get a better machine so that it'll, I can get in and do some detail work and so on and so forth. And then invest in a better gun. But you can still keep the compressor that you got, stuff like that. No problem. Cats. When priming with an airbrush, do you thin the primer? Never. Never. I always run the primer at full thickness. The reason for that is that the polymers in the primer are heavy duty. The medium is basically a stronger medium and a little more elastic, and it is going to be best to shoot it the way it was provided to you. So I run my priming airbrush with a 0.5 needle in it, so it's got a bigger hole to go through so I can get more material out of it and it doesn't clog. If you thin your primer, it just becomes paint. So think about it that way. Rand said, I think Jen answered, yeah, it's just right down the street. I always thought it was just right down the street, but it's actually about half the distance that we travel from our house to this office. I was like, it's just right around the corner, but it's actually like half the ride home.
I mean,
which is good.
It's still.
Ian, Mediocre Miniatures, what's happening?
Just because our house is super close to here, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we live close to where we work on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose. Kat says, thanks. What PSI do you use with your primer? I never change the PSI regardless of how I'm painting, so I paint at 22. It's like at 22 PSI right now. 21, 22, something like that. Whatever it takes. I'm usually around that range, 20 to 24 PSI, something like that. Turn it up a little bit because it looks like it's lost some oomph. Carteroni, what is going on? Yeah, I don't. A lot of people will alter the PSI on their brush because they feel like it will give them better control at various consistencies of paint, and that can be very true. If you want to turn your PSI up when the paint is thicker, works really well. Turn it down when the paint's thinner. Play that game. It can give you some really good results. I just don't. I've been airbrushing for so long. I just kind of, over the years, I never really think I thought about it. I just wound up dialing to where it was like I was spraying at this all the time, and somebody asked me, and I'm like 22. And so now I'm the 22 guy. So I never change it, no matter how thin or what color or any of that. But again, like I said, I use a much larger needle. I use a 0.5 needle when I'm priming to compensate for the fact that, a smaller hole, you'd have to push a lot more air to get that thick paint through. What's up, Cave Troll? They have a Cave Troll. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday. You made it. You survived.
Yay.
Yet another week of 2020. So, yeah, we're going to paint this guy.
It's cool
Ian,
looking.
also known as Mediocre Miniatures in chat, gave this guy to me. And if you'll notice something funky, guess what he didn't give me? Anybody guess what he didn't give me? He didn't give me two things. One of them you might not be able to see unless I messed up really bad. The other one you can see right away. Anybody tell what he stiffed me on? Anybody tell how he made my life harder? He didn't give me a base, number one, and he didn't give me instructions. No base, no instructions.
The clap.
The clap? I got the clap.
No, thankfully.
I mean, that might be what that is.
So we're going to need a little time apart.
Is this Senor Scorpec? Is that what he's called? A Scorpec Lord? I don't know what this guy's called.
Oh my gosh.
It's three-legged crab guy. Three-legged crab robot guy. Three-legged crab robot guy is what this is. So we're going to do a little texturing before we do the painting. So we're going to break out some of the Vallejo, one of the few times you'll see someone else's product, and we're going to use some Vallejo rust texture on this guy to start. The House of Monument uses a Vallejo paint.
I feel very betrayed.
Stuff. It's good stuff. We've done this before on stream and showed you guys how you can go through and use this particular paint as a wonderful way to introduce textures onto your model to make it look like, sand cast aluminum or iron, right? And so that's what we're going to do here. And we're just going to go on the armor bits that are the non-real metallic stuff, the stuff that could be like ceramic or whatever. And I'm just going to tap this on here. Try to keep it off all the other details. It's going to be a little harder than I want it to be because there's a lot of, the lines and the armor and stuff we're going to stay away from. Now, it's rust texture and it is rust colored, so it's going to be very dark brown. And that's fine. This area down here, too. It paints on rather nice, but it has a texture, and as it dries, it gains more texture. So it's a absolutely great paint for doing exactly what I'm doing. I don't use it for anything else. I don't use it for what it's meant for, which is rust very often. Sometimes, most of the time not. We've shown it on the stream multiple times for creating textures before you paint or after you paint. You can put it on after the fact as well if you're looking for this color. But it has a nice scale to the texture as opposed to putting some sort of other grit or something on a 28 millimeter model, even though this guy's pretty big. I'm going to do my guy's very grimy, dirty, regular carapace. And then we'll focus in on doing the non-metallic on all of the other, metal bits, the joints and all that stuff. What say you, crazy people of Earth?
Taz wants to know when we'll be getting the base set.
I think we'll start
What are
being
we
able
out
to make
of?
base sets again, like in a couple weeks, maybe the week of the 21st, I think.
What color are we out of?
Huh?
What color are we out of for the base set?
Camo green and dark gray blue.
Oh. Huh.
Dark warm gray as well.
Hmm.
They're not at zero stock yet.
So that you can still
Dark gray blue
buy
has like
everything.
2 in stock. You could literally right now go get a base set put together in singles at damn near the same price. I think it's $2 and something more than the regular base set if you do that with the bundle discounting. All of the colors I think were in stock as of just a little while ago. There were only 2 dark gray blues left.
Okay.
So you can do that. If you want a base set right now, go build one. But be fast.
Because now everybody knows.
Now that I just told everybody there's only 2 dark gray blues left, you probably won't get one unless you just stop right now. Stop, drop, and go put all 24 colors in your cart. Start with dark gray blue. Realize you get the bundle discounting on the store regardless. So you add 24 of any colors in singles, and you get the same set price as you would from the base set. Right? The base set's $80. We discount that a little bit further because we have them pre-made. So when you add 24 individual paints into a bundle, it costs you a couple bucks more than the $80. So it's like 84, 82, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's damn near the same price as the base set. Just add all the colors in there. And if you didn't want, dark gray blue, then you can add one of the other expansion colors in. Yeah, but most of the base set colors are in stock. There's only a few of them that are low. And we're constantly bottling nowadays, so mahogany's up next. Then I think
So get ready for drinking.
Purple.
We'll have loads of mahogany
we
around
already
here.
did blue. We've been doing the good work around here. Guess we'll go ahead and do his face too, huh? Looks like it would be the same kind of ceramic, metallicized stuffs. Mo, what's going on? Love your face.
Oh, did I miss Kenny's raid?
No, did we?
Yeah.
Did it not go off?
Did it not say anything?
I didn't hear it. Kenny, what's happening?
Hello?
Hello? Sorry.
We didn't even see that.
I didn't
Or
hear it
hear
go
it.
off. Maybe I was yapping.
Maybe.
Was I yapping? Flapping my gums? What is going on, everybody? Coming over from Next Level Painting. Hello, howdy, hi. Today we embark on a journey of painting a Necron. I have not painted a Necron
Okay, yeah.
a bajillion years.
Like it worked a second ago when we got a raid at the beginning.
Yeah, our first raid did.
But yeah, we're definitely not getting notifications here. Sorry.
Oops. Thanks, guys. Welcome, everybody. Hope you are having a great Friday. How was the stream? I didn't get a chance to jump in and watch Kenny at all today.
Kev Rob, thank you for the resub.
I I
I've
normally
rubbed
get
sub
at
for
least a good
43 months.
solid half hour. Watching Kenny before we start, but we have been jammed lately.
I miss any other love minis? Thank you for the resub.
We are right now putting some texture paint on our dude. If I can zoom in, you can see what's going on here. You'll notice the rough sort of texture that I'm putting on with this rust texture. Then we're going to paint over it. He's not going to be brown. I'm just doing this for the texture. It's a texture paint, much like if you were to take, you know, a basing paint, you know, like the crackle earth stuff or whatever. A lot of that has too much texture to it. This is a really fine grit texture. Dries ultra matte, but it's going to give us a neat effect on the model.
And Milo the Short, thank you for the sub as well.
Thanks, guys. Sorry that the
those are
alerts are not working. We're not trying to ignore you.
I think I got everything. That was weird.
Three-legged crab robot guy. Yeah. It is the happy 100th Paintdemic stream, by the way.
Oh my goodness, can you believe it?
Can you believe that we have been doing this pandemic streaming stuff for 100 streams? Probably more, because I think I forgot some to change the title on a couple days. But we're going to go with today is the 100th day. That's 20, I counted them up. I think it's been 27 weeks. Maybe 28.
Rants of Vomit, thank you for the bits.
Isn't that nuts, though?
It's not ours, Telemachus. he's being a traitor right now.
What's that?
Telemachus said, is the texture paint a new test paint?
Yes. No. It's Vallejo.
Don't get people excited.
It's Vallejo. Oh well. We have to break out of the. We got to break out of the shell and use another company's product to get the thing that I want to get done. So that's what we're doing. Don't have me swinging from the trees here anytime soon. No lynch mob. No lynch mob.
I have to just make sure that I look up at chat more.
Yeah.
I can't get lost.
No, you're not going to get any of this.
Can't get lost today.
Big Squirrel 100 streams of awesomeness. Yeah, it has been. I have really enjoyed all of the streams since, I mean, I always enjoy our streams, but we've seen, you know, at the very beginning when everybody's locked in at home and all of that, it was really nice to have a bunch of people get out, find content creators online, you know, people that might not normally be home during the day or home during the night, you know, and so the communities that I've seen have really, you know, grown, and I think a lot of people have been able to use the hobby and the content creators on Twitch and the live and the YouTube and all of that as a good way to kind of, you know, maintain some sanity. That's been our goal. We added the Sunday stream, then we yanked it right out from under you the other couple weeks back. We've been too busy to do the Sunday stream, but
I feel like people will want paint,
you know,
and will understand.
Yeah, we got a lot going on around here, juggling a lot of plates, as it were, in the office here. But yeah, we've had a blast, and I'm hoping that everybody has found, you know, ways, if it's not the hobby and hanging out and, you know, making friends on Twitch and all that, that you found other ways to maintain your sanity through all of this. I know it's tough. I did a little PSA about mental health a couple days back. I know it's been hitting people hard in more ways than one. So I'm just happy that all of you guys have still got time and effort to stop by, hang out with us a bit.
And we appreciate your understanding if we miss the Sunday streams.
I think Russ is going to send us a letter bomb if we don't get back on Sunday here soon.
Well, you know what? People want paint, I think, so I feel like that is
our main goal as a
our big
manufacturer.
goal.
For those of you who don't know, we, Jen and I here
Gotta
at
pay the
Monument
bills.
Hobbies, we make pro acrylic paints. Bombwick brushes, all that good stuff that you find from us. Exclamation point store in chat. We'll send you over to the shop. Give us a chance to become your next hobby purchase. I think you will live to love it. Got a lot going on. Seen some of the other streamers, whether on Twitch here with Kenny and untold jillions of people that use our paints. YouTube, John Ninas just did a really cool video again.
Another one? Or the transparent one?
The transparent.
Okay. Yeah.
And you might know about Prochrome. So when we talk about being really busy, that's what we're doing. We brought all of our production down here into the States at our HQ here in Arizona, finally.
Made in the USA.
And have now got to spend a ton of our time making the paints you love. And this becomes a little bit tedious as you're going through and painting everything, and you're basically painting the whole model and then coming back. You can't airbrush this stuff. It won't give it will clog the hell out of your airbrush, number one, and number two, will not give the same texture. You can thin it down and have it run through your airbrush, but of course you'll lose all the texturing by that. The little bit of almost pumice style grit that it's got will all go away if and when you do that. So you're stuck just kind of brush coating it on, working through the model. You can see that kind of greenish brown that I'm turning everything. And then we'll figure out a color. You guys need to be thinking about what color you want me to do his carapace armor. I have not given it any thought. I don't really know that I care. Don't say pink. I would prefer if we didn't paint him orange or turquoise.
Just because you've done those, or?
Just because we've been painting a lot of orange and turquoise here lately. We're doing a lot of orange skin, and the turquoise armor on these Oryx we're doing is going to be a lot of turquoise for some time to come.
And this is different than an orc?
No, they just call them Oryx now so they can put a trademark on it.
Oh.
So if you haven't been tuned in the last couple of weeks, week and a half, we did a repaint on an Oryx that we got from a Facebook Marketplace purchase. Finished him up yesterday. Got him looking all good. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of orange and turquoise. So if you could spare me a little bit of the orange and turquoise, I would appreciate
it. LT typed exclamation point store in chat, which seems right.
Why is that wrong? Do I even want to see his tattoo comments?
So, yeah.
It's nothing if not repetitive.
He's consistent.
It's nothing if not reliably repetitive, you guys.
Exclamation point store in chat. Command doesn't work. How's that tattoo coming?
Are the commands not working either?
Well, no, because he typed exclamation point store in chat. I don't know. No, the rest of them still work.
Oh, he typed store in chat?
He typed exclamation point store in chat.
Yeah, that's not what I that's what I said, but that's not what I said. Damn it. Damn it, you people.
The arts, Tony said mahogany and jade.
Mahogany
Repray said plaid.
And jade.
Oh, and
Feels a lot like orange and turquoise, friend.
Mose and Repray both said like forms of plaid. Mose said tartan. Repray said plaid. Pandaran said purple. Dark silver with more transparent black.
You guys care that I dislike you
Khaki.
immensely? Is that
checkers?
Checkers. Dags and teeth.
Hot rod Necron, red and white.
Black with flames. Dude, that would be absolutely fantastic. In black with flames.
Did you hear about Mahorange?
Can you guys, do I need to get closer to the microphone for that one?
That was LT.
Do I need my side to be closer to the microphone for you guys to get it?
Non-metal copper.
Non-metal copper. I like the idea of copper. I'm putting all this texture on here, so the non-metal is probably not a way to do the carapace, but we could do, I don't know, we could do like the, like this stuff around his neck, what would normally be like gold, his dookie gold chain and all that stuff. We could maybe get that in copper I wouldn't have a problem with that. But the armor itself, because I'm doing all this texture on it, I really had in my mind that it is more of a composite, not a metal, if that makes sense. And that I'm not putting the texture on all the gears and inner workings so that those can be metal. But I don't think you'd do those in copper, right? Those are probably all going to be steel.
Yards Tony, I feel like you are not wrong. Yards Tony said this won't be the last time Jason asks chat for colors, and it also won't be the last time he regrets it. He knows. He knows.
Yeah. I keep giving you guys the benefit of the doubt, and that's where I'm really messing up, right? I feel like that's where I'm really messing up.
Gold.
I feel like I should just never give you guys the benefit of the doubt, right? I should always go with chat's gonna troll me.
Yeah.
Hey, chat, what color would you want? Plaid. Plaid or pink?
You didn't get any, and none of them said pink, because you said
it's
don't say
coming.
pink.
It's coming.
They listened.
Yeah, I do see that. That doesn't go unnoticed, that you actually listen to the part about no orange or turquoise, but then you went straight to plaid. All right, if we can't use joke colors, or he's tired of a color, let's do plaid. Tartan Necrons makes sense. Fits the lore. Fits the lore fuse. I read the book. In the book, they all have tartan and blue face paint. Long live Necron Wallace. Burberry Necrons. Damn you. Ivory pink. These are not. Now you're just making stuff up. Tie dye. Okay.
Ooh, tie dye.
Tie dye might be fun. We could do tie dye. We could like flood it and then use watercolor and inks to get the tie dye to go. No. You troll with love. It's not love when it hurts this way. Mediocre miniatures, what did you say? Dark silver with some more transparent black put in? Well, I'm not going to use any metallic paint on him. I just did a whole... What are you talking about? I just did this whole oracle. Look at the blade. We spent a lot of time doing that kind of dirty bronze rusty blade. That was really good stuff right there. I mean, I never show off the metallics. What are you, sleeping through your job? Russ says, do whatever you feel like. He knows I'm going to anyway. You can blame Kenny for mahogany orange. Mahogany as a base for orange is brilliant. We do it all the time. I just kind of am out of like wanting to do orange. I feel like I'm doing too much orange. Our whole Monumentals army is orange. I love orange. It's one of my favorites. But My Little Pony colors with horsey heads on the shoulders. You're nodding. Don't nod. You're not allowed to nod at that. You're like, I mean, why not?
Why not? I don't know what he's supposed to look like.
Ivory marble with black veins, says Kelsky. Marbling? Again, I think the texture would throw it off right now, but I like the idea. Maybe we can do marble like on the base. Because I had to use one of my Eldar bases for some unknown reason.
It's only because I looked at that and I was like, I don't know this one.
Snow White and the Six Dwarves.
I'm like, is this new? I haven't heard of this movie.
Army drab and earth tones, says Rancid Vomit. Army drab, like a green? That ain't a bad idea, actually. We haven't painted any green in a while, have we? Like any green armor?
Carbon fiber black with neon blue glow inside.
Do I have to do the honeycomb on the carbon fiber? I already know the answer, so shut up. I mean, we've done the jade armor on the Eldar guys and the turquoise armor, but not like military greens. I'm down for military greens. Can we get some upvotes for military green on the armor? Or is it going to look funky? Is it going to look too U.S. Army?
So with the texture, sandstone.
Sandstone?
Yeah. We don't have khaki.
Sorry, bastard. I mean, I could make khaki.
Someone earlier did say khaki too. Unless that was you, Chris.
I mean, we could make khaki. Do we want to do a light armor or do we want to do a dark armor? I guess that's a good question, right?
Oh, it was Yards. Tony said khaki earlier. Time for a new paint color. Yes, for military green. Tan sack. Use tan sack and camo green.
Tan sack and camo green. I'm so in love with tan sack now.
They kind of look Fallout-ish in military colors, which would be cool.
We could do like stars on it.
Bone would
we
be
could have
cool
our
too.
Necron Scorpec Lord with like, you know, like olive drab green and like, you know, burn out like US stars on him. I think that's a little too much, but
I
you got to figure out all of the parts and pieces that might be made out of this material that we're doing here, and I think that's probably it, right? Oh, nope, got his arm. Whoop, nope.
Whoop.
Whoop, nope. The biggest bummer with this texture is that you got to be careful not to get it on anything you don't want to be textured, because it is a BS.
Paint it up like a Necron Elvis. I would like to see that. I don't know what that would look like, but
Are we talking about like sequin white bell bottoms? I got to go back to the drawing board with the conversion stuff if I'm going to do that, or the My Little Pony.
yeah, he's too thin.
Nonsense
for
all over
He's
it.
too thin for Fat Elvis. A Kiss makeup theme.
Like Ace Frehley. Chris Paul. Is that his name? Chris Paul? The cat? Cat bro?
I don't know.
Totally missing that the shoulders have an underneath part. And if you're just joining us, I'm using some texture paint. Start building up what will be like corroded metal, right? The idea is that we start getting a texture on the armor that makes it look like it's almost sand cast. Like it's been buried, and that the metal parts are maybe adamantium or something, and so they don't, you know, dissolve in the dirt over thousands of years. But the carapace has had ill effects from the weathering of being buried under the earth, right?
Tushman said, how well does white take metallic medium? Do you need it? Because isn't metallic medium pretty much white already, or is it too...
Metallic medium is very much a white metallic already, but if you want to mix white in with it, you could. You'll just brighten it up even more. There's no reason why not to. Neither one of them are paints that like don't take one or the other. So definitely a doable thing if you want to have an even brighter metallic. Or you want to try to make like a pearlescent.
That'd be cool.
You could do some fun stuff with it. You could do metallic medium, white, and then like a touch of blue transparent.
Ooh.
And probably get some really, really crazy cool things going down. All right, we'll leave these balls on his shoulders to be glowy bits or something like that.
You said balls.
He's got shoulder balls. I think we're pretty good everywhere else. Now we got to do a little bit more. So what I've done here is I've done one layer of texture on the entire model.
He said he was mostly asking for Nelvis.
For what?
Nelvis, which
Oh.
is Necron Elvis.
Necron Elvis.
Yeah.
So we've got one layer of texture. You can start seeing it. And if we get one of these flat areas, be able to start seeing if the camera will get in there. You can see that we're no longer just flat, smooth plastic anymore. We've got like little dimples and things on it. Now we're going to do another layer that is very spotty. We're not going to paint the whole machine. Right? I'm just going to take globs of the stuff and I'm just going to start tapping it on. poke. And you try to get more and more paint on the brush. We don't ever do this, right? We never like take a big glob of paint like this on the brush and then just smack it on the model. It's kind of fun. It's like finger painting. This is going to build up texture in random patches. Once the medium dries in this, it'll lay a little bit flatter, right? But it will continue to give me various thicknesses overall of the texture. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. Oh yeah. Oh. I need some alone time in my hobby.
Royo said, stupid question, which it's not.
Not true.
Why does yellow and black make green?
So yellow winds up being a, once you thin it out with a lot of colors, you'll start getting greenishness to it. Remember, it's a component of making green, and the reason why green occurs is that yellow, so it's as it thins out with subtractive mixing, which is what we have in pigmented based products. There's additive mixing, which is light. When you add one frequency of light to another, you get a third frequency. When you add one paint to another, you get subtractive mixing because the pigments are solid materials and they cover each other up. So you're seeing, instead of two things making one like light does, you're seeing very small dots of color in very close proximity, and your brain reads color even though there's not really that color there. Okay. And as you thin and space those particles out, then you'll see different colors. And that's what's happening with the yellow as you thin it. Put it over black, it's that the black is showing through. You're not really seeing green. You're seeing the black with a tint of yellow. And just like blue with a tint of yellow gives you green, black with a tint of yellow does the same thing. Just obviously not as bright of a green. And if you continue to mix them, you'll get mud, not more green. And just splotching it around. Going back in and getting a lot more material every time I go back to the palette. This will be all of the dirt and mud and grime and grit and metal deteriorating and all of that all at once. This stuff is great on like tank tracks and such. Where you're trying to, you've already painted it, you just want to put a little rust down on the surface. Worked pretty well. We don't use it for that very often. We have in the past on tanks when I'm showing you how to weather and rust tanks and such. You can get some good painting momentum out of effects like this. I typically use stuff like this not for what it was built for, but for things like what you see me doing here. Underlying textures on models that are very hard to get otherwise. You know, painting this texture on here wouldn't, I mean, you could stipple the paint, but by having the physical representation and the size and alteration of the particles on the paint, the actual texture being rough, is a lot better way to do this. Now, if I were really intending for this to be rust or weathering, then I wouldn't be putting it on underneath the color of the model. I'd be putting it on over the color of the model, right? Because dirt isn't going to be the same color as the paint on his body. What we're trying to do is make it seem that the paint itself, or the material that this is has started to buckle and change dimension because of being exposed to the elements or buried underneath the earth for tens of thousands of years, kind of thing.
Drewski, it's coming. It's coming soon.
What's that?
Primer.
Oh yeah. Just ordered the bottles recently.
Yep. Ordered the bottles. Telebadger said, what texture paint is that?
Vallejo's Rust Effect.
Disco Diva Bay J. Disco Diva Bay J, I like it. Said, how would you go about adding a mossy texture to Necrons? I'm going for an overgrown Necron army.
So this would be a good way to do it too, is to add this type of texture on there after the fact, and then hit it with some greens to give it the feel of actual mossiness. Depending on how rough you want that to be, there are some components out there that are like turf, groundwork style stuff that can do a great job.
Drewski said, soon enough that I should hold off on buying some. How much do you have left?
Yeah, how much do you have and what do you need? I would say no. I would say that it'll be before the holidays, but no, you're probably, if you need primer anytime in the next couple of months, you're not going to see it from us. Because it's going to take a while to get here, while the bottles are going to be 90 days out, most likely. Give you an idea.
And yes, the primers will be numbered.
Starting with 1.
They already are.
Numbers 1 through 5 on the primers. Pro-Acryl Prime. You know there's going to be a knockoff Transformers commercial coming. You know it. We'll have to have something about the Allspark.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, you'll learn.
Oh, no, they're separate, so they start with 1.
Yeah, they're 120 ml bottles and different numbering scheme and everything. Monument Pro-Acryl Prime.
MPAP.
All right, I think that's probably all of the armor bits that I'm really interested in doing here. Got a pretty good texture rolling. Back and hit some of these upper flat areas again. Just stitching the brush, banging it onto the surface. I haven't forgotten about the moss question. Give me just a second, and I will show you a product that I have that I think you might find some luck with when starting to do moss.
Whoa. What happened here?
What?
I just looked up at my chat screen, and it's like...
We got another raid.
Another raid.
Nilind, what is happening? Our alerts are not working. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Nilind. Jen's losing nerd point. She doesn't know what the Allspark is.
I don't.
All right, today might be a day where somebody in chat has to explain to Jen what the Allspark is.
I'm just barely out of the negative in nerd points, I think.
I don't know. You gain some every now and then.
And then I lose them with stuff like that.
And then you lose them. You might just be a dead zero. Right?
I could just, just a big goose egg right now.
We are starting Necron week. We've had the months of Marines. Now we're going to do a Necron. I think I'm good. I think I like the texture on him right now. We don't want to go too crazy. Let's show you what we're doing. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 Let's get some nerds in chat. Nilind just came and dropped a bunch of nerds off in chat. Hello, nerds. Thank you for the follows, guys. We are not getting alerts on our end. I apologize ahead of time. We are not trying to ignore anybody, but it doesn't like us. So what
We
we're
got
doing,
like 2 at the beginning, and then they stopped. They started the weekend early.
what we're doing is taking our Necron robot, 3-legged crab robot guy. That's his technical name. Right? And we've used a little bit of Vallejo texture paint on the armored carapace, right? Not the joints, right? But the armored carapace plates that we're going to paint a different color. And what that'll do is it'll give us a rough texture that looks like sand-cast steel or sand-cast aluminum or iron, right? As opposed to just smooth plastic, right? You can see where the light's hitting that. See that micro texture that's going on there? It gives it a really nice, dense texture that at this scale works tremendously well, right? Look down here. See how that, where the paint's wet? See how you can see all that texture? Really micro fine, but it works perfectly at this scale to give you the sense that this metal, it's going to be that rough, like old World War II tank steel at this point. Imagine being buried for tens of thousands of years, maybe the water in the ground and all of that has started to chew away at whatever this polymer is that he's got, or his composite that his body's made out of. And whereas the other metal parts, don't have anything other than battle damage on them, this stuff is just a little pitted and gross. So we're going to go with that. So we're not using the color brown, but the texture paint itself is that brown. So we're going to let that live on there for a bit. Now, before I forget, I'm going to show. Somebody was asking in chat about how you might do an effect that made the Necrons look like they had moss texture all over them. And moss is attributed to moisture, right? And so there's going to be a lot of like slimy with the moss. You can think like, pulling something up out of the swamp, right? And it has that stringy, like mucusy green on it,
That's disgusting.
This stuff from Woodland Scenics, right? Your blended turf is really good for that kind of stuff. It's a very micro fine foam that's all ground up to give you, that train turf. It looks really fake. But if you were to take glue and glue this onto your model at the primer stage, before primer, glue this on. You could literally just take a brush with super glue and just kind of dab the super glue spots on the model and then dip it in the turf. And he would come out and it would have fuzz all over it, right? Then take that same super glue brush and kind of push that fuzz stuff down onto the model and let the glue dry. You're going to wind up with this lumpy material in spots and then paint the model. And then when you get done with your base coats and all of that, then those lumps are going to be there, and you can go back with your greens and yellows and mossy colors and paint those as clumps of moss on the model, and then streak down from those, and you can get a fantastic look just with starting with turf. Really simple. It's pretty cheap. This is like $11 for more turf than you'll ever use in your life, unless you're doing a whole game board out of it.
A lot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's not much for when you're doing model trains and you're doing like a big, huge platform. So they make a bundle off of this. But that works really well. It again creates a physical texture that won't go away. If you use super glue, it hardens obviously, but it gives that good lumpy. The super glue actually smooths it out and makes it look more like it's soft, moist nonsense. So you could go back and do it that way. I think that's probably, if you were to ask me to do that on a model, that's what I would do right now.
40K Epic Narrator, thank you for that raid.
Thank you so much for the raid.
And thanks for the follow, darn it, Dibble.
We're going to miss all the names on follows tonight, but just take it from us. We appreciate it. Our alerts are not triggering on our end. They're probably not being triggered on you guys either. But we are definitely making primers.
Steve B65 AU, thank you for the follow.
Repray, if you only knew, like behind the scenes, I get asked every day by multiple people, when are the primers going to be ready? Everybody that comes onto the site and makes an order for Pro Acryl paint is like, should I wait for primers? No! What number are we going to skip in the primers? We're just going to go 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. That's what's going to happen, T. Schmidt. All right, so now we're going to pick a color, guys. We got the texture paint on there. What color is the dude going to be? I know we talked about military green. We're going to do that?
Yeah, I thought that's what you decided on.
Military green. Nalin says blue. I'm tired of blue. We just finished painting this Orc. We did turquoise blue armor on him with red paneled highlights and orange flesh. Right? He turned out really nice. Liked him a lot. Sick of doing orange. Sick of doing blue. So those aren't going to make it, but I really had a lot of fun doing him. We got to paint a whole army like this, so it'll be fun. This was, for those of you that might not know, if you're just joining us, this was a repaint of models that we got off of Facebook Marketplace.
I like this. Crick Stark said primers should only use prime numbers.
There we go. Procro Prime 13579.
No, nine's not prime.
Oh.
9's not a prime number.
Dude, we should do that. I could do that. I haven't turned the labels over.
Yeah.
That would be fun as hell.
That'd be cool.
Okay, we'll do them all in prime numbers. Only prime numbers for primers. We're going to do it. That's a good one. Somebody's got to remind me. You got to remind me on that.
I'll try and remember.
Because I'll change the labels, and they'll only be prime numbers. That'll piss all the retailers off. All right. So we started this guy. The army that we bought was all like this. So we've got a ton of dudes that are in various, levels of the blue with the green. Got a whole army that we picked up off of Facebook Marketplace, and then made it our own. Bam. Used all these colors. We didn't paint over anything entirely other than the red base. I didn't like the red base. But you'll notice that the green skin I used as the base for our orange, the brown for his pants, the blue for the armor. We used every color on here, basically, as a way to start off. We painted over the red armor bits, but we used everything, all the metallic and everything, to create a whole new look for our orcs. That's been a lot of fun. But like I said, it made me tired of orange and blue for the moment.
Big Squirrel said, for your next commercial, are you going to have Kevin Costner star in it and call it Pro Curl Prince of Pigments?
Yes.
No, I don't like Kevin Costner. He can't be in our commercials. No. He can go off with Reese Witherspoon and make all the commercials he wants that are not for Pro Curl.
Yeah, we have to do it. Prime numbers is genius.
Yeah.
So 1, 3, 5, 7, 11 will be the first 5.
Yeah.
I love this. Such a good idea.
Great idea.
Blame chat, and they even get it right every now and then. Dances with Cat says, wait, what's wrong with Kevin Costner? Jen just doesn't like Kevin
I don't
Costner.
like him.
I've liked most of his movies.
I don't know why. You don't ask. I don't have a reason. I just don't. There's just some of those people, you just don't like.
I know. I have lots of them. When it comes to TV and movies, I have lots of them. Like, wait a minute. How does this person make money? How do they have a job? I could play that part better. Nalinda's like, how dare you say you don't want to paint blue? Hey, Nalind, blue, worst color ever. Not really. Not really. Don't throw things. Waterworld was a cinematic masterpiece.
Oh,
no,
well, okay. I mean,
no, I wouldn't necessarily go there. I wouldn't go there. The Necron needs to be pink. You just don't see enough pink Necrons. You don't see enough Pinkrons. Using proofs show that 2 is or is not a prime number and go. I don't know. I'll look up prime numbers and I'll go by whatever it tells me. I feel like 2, because isn't it, it's only divisible by 1 in itself? That's prime, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So 2 is a prime number. It's only divisible by 1 in itself. Right. So why would 2 not be prime? Have I missed? There's probably some stupid sciencey answer that says 2 is not prime.
1 is not prime either.
Why is 1 not prime? It's only divisible by 1 in itself, which is 1.
We'll have to
I don't understand. It makes my brain hurt.
We need to make sure these are right if we're going to do this.
Did we get another raid? Hello, Raiders.
Did we? Oh, AOW 40K.
Hello.
Thank you.
Sorry, our AOW, welcome. Our alerts are not working here, gang. So hello, everybody. I'm Jason. That's Jen. If you don't know who we are Monument Hobbies. We make this amazing paint called Procro.
We're very grateful that you're here, even though we didn't say it right away.
Thank you for showing up, everybody. Thanks for the raids. We are the manufacturers, creators, and brainchildren of Pro Acryl, Bomwick brushes, and Gentastics Drunken Brush Goop, which that woman over there makes by hand. And tonight is Necron night, and we're trying to figure out what color we want to do the Carapace armor on our Necron. I have put a bunch of texture paint on here to give a very nice kind of sand cast metal to the Carapace armor. And I want to now figure out what color we're going to do. We've talked about doing military green, which would be cool. We haven't done some green in a while. We don't want to do orange. We don't want to do blues. So green is a good one. I don't really want to do red, so I guess we're doing green. Let's do green. Let's do dark blue first.
A prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that is not a product of two smaller natural numbers. I like my definition that I learned, which was it's a number that is only divisible by 1 in itself.
The sand color is cool too, though, right? Like doing kind of a sandy color on this would be kind of cool. I can see it in my mind's eye rather than the green. The problem with that is that it's going to be very, very light. Right? The problem with doing those types of colors on armor, where the armor is a big component, is then what are we going to do? Let's plan it out. Because if we do like a tan or khaki, like a deserty khaki, I feel like the base could go really well with that. You know, we could make it just kind of an Egyptian-themed thing, right? Where we've got the bases in all sorts of sandy colors as well. We could use some reds that way. There's nothing that keeps us on our tans from using like dark purple as an undercoat first. So we could do that very easily. And then the metallics are what's going to be rough, right? Like, are we just going to do, on the tan, are we going to do like just very, very dark metal for like the claws and the joints and everything? What do we think? Like the gun casings and all of that? Might look funky to do like black metallic or very dark metallic on top of tan.
Really quick, Brian WG.com, the Pro Curl bottles are, you can purchase them empty in sets of 10.
You sure can.
And when you buy the empty ones, you can pick from the 3 different cap styles. So that is...
Sand color with the metallics being green. Ooh. Ooh, now you're thinking outside the box, chat. Ooh.
Divisible by 1 and itself and is not 1. Rick Stark said, "Stream is always educational, just not what you want to, not always what you want to
Just
learn."
not always really what you wanted to learn.
Oxidized copper.
All right, I'm digging this. I'm digging the khaki desert style color. We don't know how bright we go or where we'll keep that. I'm digging that, and then the kind of green, right? Metallics. So we could do the non-metallic in like almost like a black non-metallic on all the joints, and then use green transparent over the top of that to get some really cool interactions. Let's do it, chat. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm willing to give it a go. I can blame you guys if it goes completely awry, which is nice. I always like having an out. Let's think. We just don't want to do something that's too close to what we've done in the past. We've done, I guess this is pale yellow armor, though, right, on Homeboy here. So we just don't want to go into that realm, right? Because that's pale yellow. So let's stay away from that. Let's just do it, man. Quit talking about it. Just make it happen.
Just do it already, jeez.
Like, are we talking about like desert yellow, like World War II desert yellow kind of colors? Is that's too yellowy though, right? We want to keep it more brownish, less yellow ochre. This World War II kind of desert yellow, German Dunkelgelb. Right? I'm down. Let's make it happen. Screw it. Base coat color. Purple, blue, red would be really good. Let's do red. Let's do a red. Let's do a red. Let's take some burnt red, really thin, and do our shadows as red. Let's just, if we're going to go crazy, let's go all the way crazy, right? Because I'm thinking on the green metallics, we can do the purple, right? Or okay. All right. Let's do dark purple into burnt red and then make tans out of that. How about that? How about them apples? We got this.
Tabletop Militia, thank you for the follow.
We got this. So first color, dark purple. Make it happen. Make it so. Show us the light, Mr. Fuse. Everybody in chat's like, oh, I got to stick around for this. This guy's lost his mind. He's off his rocker, chat. lube the brush just a little bit here. Gonna airbrush all our shadows. All right, so we don't need a whole lot of paint here. We'll just do like 1, 2, 3 drops of purple.
Dealer of Death, I'm still painting the Privateer Press Bombardier Bombshell. We'll show off later.
I am not going to put any thinner in this. Just do the worm's eye view like we always do when painting shadows. Turn the model as close to upside down as you can get it. It's really difficult because you got the base in the way here. You get close.
The Drewski are standard bottle caps. Yes, are the ones that we both use. They're the twist caps that are like an Elmer's glue bottle. Do we know what we're sending to Element Games? Paint. They're getting all the paints and brushes for sure, and soap.
Yep, paints, brushes, soap. They got a few bags because I think they pre-sold some before we told them that bags weren't going to be available for a while. So they got a few bags coming, so I think if you ordered a bag from them, you're going to get that for sure. And some racks. I think they had somebody that ordered some racks.
The empty bottles?
No empty bottles.
No empty bottles.
Not right out of the gates. I might be able to make that happen, but we haven't thought about it yet. We're trying to keep it all pretty basic on the first run-through so that we can allow them some time to get used to everything. But that doesn't mean that it won't happen.
Scam206, thank you for the follow. Our alerts are not working.
Alerts are not working, so don't think we're ignoring you. Thank you in advance for all of the follows, subs, and all that stuff. Twitch is being twitchy, not give us the alerts. Probably Streamlabs, actually, not Twitch.
Yeah, we ship worldwide, Brian. And the shipping prices are all based on weight. So, you know, if you were to buy a set of empty bottles, those are super light. I can't say how much they would cost, but it would be much more reasonably priced than if you were to buy like a full set of paint.
There is that problem with international, though, that there's always the beginning price that you pay no matter what. So you've got, unfortunately, like 1 ounce is not super cheap. Compared to 16 ounces,
yeah.
There's the uptick price for just doing the shipping in general.
But you can get first class up to, what did we say, like 4 pounds or just under
4
5?
pounds, 15 ounces, I think.
Yeah,
so
just
it's
under
under
5.
5 pounds.
You can still get first class shipping, and first class U.S. shipping through the Postal Service is still tracked. So you would still get a tracking number with first class. So don't let that deter you.
All right, so we still got mostly brown from the top part and then mostly purple from the bottom. That's our goal here. That looks pretty good. Let's do some red. I thought I just pulled a paper towel off. Did I already use that damn thing?
Maybe.
I am wasteful today.
You're just messy.
Cricksark. Bastage.
Oh, Run and Night Bunny, thank you for the follows.
And you really want those paints that you can do that contrast effect Silifuse done to overall darken the color of a mini? Yeah, the transparents. I think you're probably talking about. The transparents are fantastic. We love them.
We,
They will be probably 3 weeks before you start seeing the set back in stock, maybe a little bit longer.
We do have, I think 4 of them still in stock. Brown, green, purple, and yellow. No.
Blue.
Purple and red are in stock.
Blue, black.
No, those are out.
Those are out. Oh,
I
thought
was
you
saying the
said
ones that
what
were
was out.
in. No, I was saying the ones that were in. Brown, green, purple, and red, I think.
Gotta get enough of this purple cleaned out that the red is actually red, but I gotta take too much time and effort here. When you lube that brush, do you just put a little dribble into that hole on top behind the trigger? I never put any lubricant in this, but yeah, you can. I think that's what that's for. That hole right there is to lubricate the slide, but I've never done it. I've literally maybe lubricated this brush once. It works so well without any issue that I probably am destroying it because I'm like, oh, it works great without taking care of it. Fantastic. Then I won't take care of it. Nice, Brian. Thank you. All right, so do a couple of drops. Do 4 drops of burnt red. We are going to thin the burnt red down. We didn't thin the purple, but we're going to thin the burnt red with a little bit of flow improver. Not too much, just to keep enough to keep it moving. That up in the cup. Squeegee the brush out real quick. And now we'll do the red in the midtones. And for that, I'm not going to shoot like I would like a highlight, like straight down. I'm just going to kind of aim it in. So if we've got purple coming up from this foot, you know, I'm about halfway up. I'll layer in some red, like such. It's going to look really weird and circusy right now. Those are basically just doing like a racing stripe on here to split the difference between the weird brown that we've got.
Keith Drummer, thanks for the follow. Yeah, the transparent set is out, but we do have some of them as singles. And that, you know, all the colors that we have as singles are available in the Build Your Own Bundle price. So you can, if there's a set that you're looking for that's out of stock, you can generally find most of the colors as singles. When our sets are out, it's usually because 1 or 2 colors are gone only.
Yeah, usually it's not very many of the colors.
Yeah.
So you can always, well, not always, but you can generally go in and find most of the colors you're looking for. And because of the bundle pricing, you can go in and then add other paints and build your own set. Get everything you're wanting.
Sets are the best price, so if the set is there, that's definitely the way to go.
Now I am going a little bit top down just to blend that red back where I put it in those hard lines and with the purple. Again, using that thin red allows me to build it up as I need to. I want it to be red enough that it survives the next colors, but not so red that it doesn't blend with that purple and looks like racing stripes, right? So I can kind of get it to feather onto that purple now. Do a lot better job with it. Okay. I've still got a very good purple in the shadows. I start finding that red as I go into my midtones. And I've been staying away from the highlights, even though the highlights right now are that dark brown. But we're about to change that. Okay. I like it. Like a lot of crazy right now. I like a lot of crazy. Going to quickly adjust the exposure on the camera. Sometimes it locks in when we're doing primed black. Doesn't brighten up correctly for us. All right, so let's clean this out real quick. Then we'll start moving into our tans. We got to pick the first color, and I think the first color is going to be light umber. We'll stick with light umber and olive flesh. I think we'll stay away from, I would normally be using yellow ochres, things like that if I'm doing desert colors. But I think we'll stick with just tans. We got the purple and the red up underneath. And then we'll just go with the standard browns and see what we get. $11 down, 718,476,180. Oh, I missed. I chose the wrong one. You didn't put enough commas in there for me, so I picked the wrong number. Fox or Hatter, depends on the day. Exactly. Exactly. Lumberjack, what's happening, man? Sorry, I missed you. All right. Light umber. Pow. The light umber will start spraying very thin and build it up. That way it'll lay overneath. It'll lay overneath the purple and the red, which makes stuff up here. A little bit of light umber in there. Good amount of flow improver on top of it to thin it down, keep it flowing. This will allow us to bring it up as we need to, as opposed to like the purple when we didn't thin it down at all. You just get purple. Nothing wrong with that, but we want to use these undercolors, right? We want to use the underpainting of the purple and the red to our advantage. Otherwise, why did we do them? There we go. So I'm painting with it about like this, right? I've got brown, about like that, but I'm painting with it like this over here. Like spray tan. We're going to spray tan our Necron right now. Maybe Jen will let me spray tan her with light umber.
No,
someday.
I don't think that sounds fun at all.
Not a thing?
No.
I think you'd like it.
I don't think I would.
I think I'd like it.
I can spray tan you if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I would like spray tanning you, not
yeah.
being spray tan.
Well.
Wait a minute. This turned out worse than I thought it was going to go. What's going on here? How come nothing ever goes the way I planned it? All right, so I'm basically right up at 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maneuvering the brush to spray downward onto all these surfaces. Set up this nice earthy color. Letting it run right down over the reds and the purples.
I think overneath should be a new word.
We're going to apply a little bit of this into the shadows directly, but for right now, we're just going top down. See how it impacts all of the colors that we got on there right now. A little difficult to get around some of these parts and pieces, so gonna have to sneak some color in there. Almost looks like heat flare on metal right now, right? We've got that purple into the red that starts being more of a magenta with the tan over the top, and then into the tan.
Drewski said this is getting kinky, and Crick Sark said you never know where chat will go. Walk away for 5 minutes and they're giving away cars.
Giving away cars? I mean, we're still like nearly 20 million away from the Chevette giveaway.
Iron
Guys have
Raven
let me down on that one.
Iron Raven Painting, thank you for the sub. How would you describe overneath in the dictionary? What would be the definition for overneath?
On top of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But I also feel like it's like not within reach. It's got to be something over there. Like it's
overneath.
Overneath is like the.
Well, then that means I used
like
it completely
those,
out of context. I don't like that.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how you used it.
Well, the colors is going overneath the under colors, the under top colors.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I feel like this just went south.
On top of the bottom.
All right, so I want to dust the shadows a little bit. We don't want any pure purple on the model, but we also want to be very careful with this so that we're not layering enough of the light umber to get the purple to go away, right? We still want to feel it. See that? We still have quite a bit of purple, quite a bit of that red, but we're starting to see the light umber intrusion. Then as we go up top, we get that light umber giving us that, exactly that, the light umber colored armor. But in all of our shading, I made sure I got purple in the length of the spine here, right? Purple at the back of the plate, right? That red peeking in works really well. Get that red right here on the, whatever that is, whatever that body part is. I don't know. Necron anatomy. Beyond me.
You didn't take that class in school?
I didn't well, I mean, I took it, but I didn't go.
Oh.
Right? I had more important things to do.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you.
I get that.
I'm not saying it's a bad class and that you shouldn't go. I'm just saying that, life gets in the way sometimes. Can't just do all the things you want to do. So when you want to go learn Necron anatomy, sometimes you're like, well, girls.
That's how I was with algebra.
I'm really digging this. I think there's some good stuff happening here. I don't know how much of this is really reading on the camera because it's very, very subtle. But if you look right in the midsection there on the rib cage and such, right, you can get that purple into the red and the midtones, and then we're picking up the tan, and you can start really seeing all that texture we added. See how bumpy it is, right? So it's giving us that real worn dimension to that carapace armor. Look at that on the leg right there. Perfect. And we didn't put any of that on the joints, so when we do all the non-metallic on the joints, it's going to really bump, like jump off of the model, because all of this looks like almost like rough stone now, right? That cast metal on all the bits and pieces. If you ever wanted to know how to get to colors the craziest way possible, you have come to the right place. Kind of what we do here. I feel like I don't want to hit it with too much more because I'm really happy with where we're at. And then we'll take a big jump in vibrancy and go to olive flesh next. Clean the brush. Chevette is the best car ever made. Anybody that tells you different, lying. Just flat out lying. They're just jealous or they're trying to buy one out from under you. That's all there is to it. Your dad had a 77 Chevette as his third car and was supportive of the idea of getting one. You think it made a good off-road car? Sure, why not? The Chevette was the best all-around vehicle ever made in the existence of humankind. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it. Right? And like I said, anybody that argues with you is trying to hide the truth. They'll call you a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat wearer, and you just stick to your guns, man, because you know the truth.
Your kids will not be able to catch you. They can't run that fast.
Overneath is the opposite of Australia.
Yeah.
Octavian, awesome. Enjoy that brush. I've been using the igniters on everything lately. Igniter number 2. There's a poop joke in there someplace.
Yeah. I've been sending out a lot of igniters.
Shivtech, what's going on, man?
Where people go.
I call shenanigans.
Where people will go, they'll buy 1, 2, and 4. To the point where I had to look and make sure that the 3s were on the website. Because,
oh, really? Yeah. Because nobody's buying
Because there were so many people that were like, I want igniter 1, 2, and 4. I'm like, okay.
Time to throw the glasses down and prove my points. All right?
Oh.
I don't know where you come from if you're doubting the power of the Chevette. I want you to read some of the finer details here. Right? Right? The first thing that it comes to your mind right now is that the car is so flipping good that parents, when they test drive it, forget they have children and leave them at the dealership. That's what's happening right here. Caught in action, right? Well, let's just blindly pick one here, gang. How about seatbelts with push-button buckles for all passenger positions? That's not a thing anywhere else. This is history in the making right here. Let's just jump across the page here to parking lamps that illuminate with headlamps. What? What? Come on, man.
Thick laminate windshield, huh?
Extensive acoustic insulation. What? They were thinking about your boom and stereo system.
Oh. These people out here don't know.
They don't know. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. Right? How about this one? We'll get rid of my ugly mug. Full foam front bucket seats. Full foam. I'm staring at the camera like they can see me.
Yeah.
Full foam.
Full foam.
You people don't get it. All the naysayers, you're just wrong, right? You just don't get it. I don't know what to do with you people.
Good stuff.
I don't know what to do. I can lead you to water. I can't force you to drink it. He says, correct stock, right? 17 anti-corrosion techniques. 17. Are you kidding me? Come on, people.
What kind of witchcraft are they using?
Exactly. Exactly. Alien Tech, Area 51 made the Chevette. Let's just go there. Let's just go there. We're going to get, we can't say that too loud because we'll have knocks on the door. Right? Brian says, and you guys drive on the wrong side of the road.
The Chevette will go on either side.
All right, so we're moving on to olive flesh. To give you an idea of the jump we're taking here in value, bam, right? Light umber to olive flesh. We're going super bright so we can get some contrast on the model. I'm really happy with the tan right now. We still have that dark brown that was from the texture coat that is helping out a lot too. So normally we would make a color in between these, but because all of the armor bits are very small on this guy, we're going to just jump up in value. Right? Remember that one of the biggest rules when painting small miniatures is that don't think you have to blend like 17 colors to paint a model. If the model doesn't have enough space to put 17 colors on it because the arm is like this big, then you're gonna waste your time. You're only gonna be able to see 3 at the most. So don't spend your time doing 17. This guy is a larger model, but each individual armor plate is fairly small. So why bother with another mix, right? We've already got purple, red, light umber, and now this. So we'll have 4 colors plus all the colors that those blends of those make. It's going to look like a lot more color than it actually is. All right, so quite a bit of flow improver in there. Again, just to thin it down so we can build it up as we need. I use a Grex TG3, by the way, if you're wanting to know what my airbrush is. All right, so again, that kind of brightness, but we'll do it like this. Just kind of feather it on over that darker brown. My needle wasn't seated very well, so I had to reseat the needle real quick. Now we're good. Now we're good. All right, so here we want to make sure we've got a pretty good steep angle to the model. So I'll pull out the camera a little bit so you can see the angle that I'm painting. I'm tilting the model towards me, right? And I'm painting like this at first, right? From like 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock is where I'm going to want to be across his shoulders. Right, so let's just start frosting this color on there. Let's get the top of his head real quick. These doodads up on his shoulders. Top of the arm over here. Arm going down there. If I can't get there, I'm not going to paint it right now, meaning that, you know, if the angle of the model is not allowing me to put paint in a certain area, we're not going to force it too much. Might rotate a little bit so I can get some on the legs, so on and so forth. All right. Start getting that dusting. Okay. And just kind of lightly frosting down the leg. Look at this area of the waist there. But I don't want to see much color if I look up from underneath the model. Right? Don't angle it to where you can't even tell when we look from up underneath that we've sprayed this color on the model at all. Right? It's only as we get to the midtones and from up above we ought not be able to tell what the other colors are. Go back and focus in a little bit on the shoulders. I want to get some on the rib cage. He is very hunched over, so we don't want a whole lot up underneath. Again, making sure we're only getting maybe a minor halo of color as we look up from underneath. That texture is really becoming alive right now. We can see all of it on the model. Up underneath these shoulders, I want to do a light dusting at a pretty steep angle here. So get just a little bit of brightness up underneath those shoulders, not too much. See what a great effect all of that texture has. Makes this armor look really gritty. If you're a painter that likes to use a lot of wash, this technique that I'm using might not be the best for you. The wash is going to love this texture we've put all over the model. It's going to get in all of the nooks and crannies and really make it look crazy. So be careful if you decided you wanted to wash this model right now. Right, all of that texture, you can imagine how it would catch it. But the transparents would be a great way to do it. Now I'm going in a little bit more, forcing my angle, get my colors to blend a little bit into my midtones and such. That's looking pretty good. Look at that calf, right? We get that tan, we find our brown, a little bit of red, and then the purple with the brown over it and the shadows there. Good volume on that. Pretty nice. It is pelvis. This arm where it pokes out from underneath the shadow there. Still have a really good shadow up underneath that shoulder plate where we dip into our reds and purples. I want to get the side of this rib cage on the back. Not overly bright, just enough. Same thing over here. I'm thinking like a transparent brown over the top of all of this might just do wonders. What do we think? Go for it? What's the worst that could happen? Are we at that level yet? I feel like chat's always waiting with bated breath for the next crazy thing, so. We're going to do a transparent over the top, if you guys want to see that. I'm going to have to go a little bit brighter with all of these highlight and color spots that I'm doing right now, so let me know if you want to see that. Transparent brown with yellow. The transparent brown, as you thin it way down, becomes a little orangey yellow, so you don't have to usually add too much. If we add yellow into it, we're going to get a very yellow model with the olive flesh. So I think the brown is probably safer by itself at first. The nice thing with the transparents is if you were to put brown transparent over the top of this and you then wanted it to be a little yellow, you could thin yellow way down and hit it again. The transparency lets them look like they are mixed on top of the model, layer by layer. So the nice thing with the transparent, it's completely flexible like that. So I like where your head's at, but I think I would like to start from more of a brown at first. Doohickeys next to his head.
Dealer of Death, the Chevette rant is never over. Say yes to transparents. Transparents 2020. BT Headshot said, I'd love to see how to use the transparents. They're so pigment rich, I'm having trouble understanding exactly how to use them.
Sure. All right, well, let's do it. Then I'm going to brighten up a bunch of this stuff. I'm going to get in really tight on some of these details real quick then. We're going to brighten up the top of his head here. All right, so I'm about an inch away. I'm going to brighten up a line on the arm, even though we've got all that texture on there, so there won't be as much shine. I'm going to go ahead, and because it's a cylinder, I'm going to go ahead and brighten up a line right down the middle on the arm, and then push it a little over towards the right. So, okay. Give a little bit of metallic shine, but we don't want to go too crazy, right? Because we've created all this texture won't allow a model that had this kind of texture won't shine as bright. So we got to be careful. We can still Put a lot of shine on here, but we gotta dial it back a little bit. Go down the side of the face here real quick. That cheek. Over here. A little bit on the chin. Keep that shadow of his face, like his nose, where his nose would be, and his eye socket's very dark because of the concave of his face there. That's looking pretty good. Let's get some brightness on this shroud on his back. Get it really bright right up here in the top, and then just kind of fade that down. Cylinder of the shoulder here. Just right across that upper section. A little triangle of shine that shoots in that trough down the back there. Right there. Not too bright, just a little highlight there. Same thing on this side. Getting it about 1/4 of an inch away from the model. Build up a little paint. Let it ease its way down that trough. Keep coming back to the top to brighten it up. Bingo. I stand to brighten this one up just a hair. So. Starting to look pretty good up there. Back end of his arm where it kicks out has a little flat spot on it right there. Build up some color there. There at the elbow. Get the cylinder of his arm in here, but again, we can't get too bright, so let's get in real close. Get a little shine as it peeks out from underneath. And then a little shine across that top. So, I really like this shine across the top of the arm is looking really good. I wish that armor went all the way around, because see how we kept a little bit of the purple there into the red, into the tan, and then that really bright shot across the top looks really good. I'm digging this. This might not have been the color you were thinking when you said, hey, do sand color. But I'm really digging it. We're almost getting like a crazy white out of this. A little bit of shine down the cylinder of this arm down here. And then again across the top of this one. I'm going to clean my needle real quick. I feel like, yep, I got a little bit of paint build up on my needle. Not being able to get it quite as tight a line as I want. Clean that off real quick. We'll be back to nice. I'm going to do a thin line across the top of that appendage. No. Shine on the pelvis as it comes out from underneath the torso there. A little bit of brightness going down the cylinder of the rib cage. Right, so I'm going to go right down the middle of the ribs here. So, same thing over here, but I'm going to kick this one over a little bit to the right. Because of arm shadow there. A bit of shine down the leg.
Hey, Ray. Just finished loading up the back of the truck to take to the dump in the morning.
Didn't hear. What was that?
Ray Silver. So
Hey, Ray.
just finished loading up the back of the truck to take to the dump in the morning.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Again, pick up some shine on the cylinders of the legs, even though our texture makes all of this really dull. We've got to brighten it up to a pretty heavy level because we're going to put the transparent over the top of it. We've got to remember that's the key here. Again, the cylinder, that's going to be a hard angle to get to here. It's a little spot down there on the leg. See that? See that dark one right there? Barely any spot for me to move the airbrush down there, but we got it.
Ray, are the girls excited?
V-joint, top of this dagger of a foot thing. I think they're equally as excited as he is, it sounded like. A little bit of secondary shine on the cylinder around the back side of the leg. I'm gonna overspray. I'm gonna basically point at the base. I'll be painting the base over there. See where it's building up? Right? Spot over there is where I'm aiming, and then I'm gonna bring the overspray to catch the edge of the dagger down the leg. Right, because you're never going to paint a line that's that narrow this way. You want to shoot past it. I'm going to shoot past it, start seeing paint on the base, bring it back over here towards the leg, and then it'll get that edge. I did that. Able to brighten that like an edge highlight. Same thing over here, paint my finger. Bring the brush closer to the model. Eventually get that line.
Your youngest is 12? I thought that your older one was 12. Okay.
Then we'll do it back from this side.
Well, I will welcome it. I'm very excited to meet them. "17." Oh my goodness, I did not know that. I thought they were both a little younger.
Working on that brightness a little bit.
Oh wow, well happy birthday. I know that your 12-year-old she had her birthday like on a stream night, because I remember we wished her happy birthday. And that was not too long ago, right? It was like a month ago? I'm just trying to remember when we wished his daughter happy birthday on stream. Because his other daughter just turned 17 on the 5th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Month. August 18th, okay.
It was only like a week or two ago.
Yeah. Your 17-year-old is a Virgo. She's my people.
Again, just cylinder shine, just straight down. Poke a little line across the back of this, whatever the hell this thing is. He's got 18 knees, so I don't know what these things are. Just a little line of brightness right there. Same thing, top of the knee. So, and then same thing over here, just take a hard angle, find that edge, back at it from this side. Get a little bit of brightness right in here. Back of that knee piece there, jutting out, crazy like that. A little bit of brightness on the pelvis that juts out from the back there. Not too much, but it's still an interesting piece. So a little bit back here. A little splash of brightness down the rib cage in the back.
Hey, Twilight Walker.
Pretty good. Need my needle again, got some gunk on it. More shine on that arm and find a little bit on the cylinder of this arm back here. So, and then a little bit at that little part of the shoulder that juts out. Pretty happy with all of this. We're going to airbrush the transparent paints on this guy.
Hearing like hooting and hollering out there.
Sounds like country music. Some guy, girl, something showed up, was out there earlier. Just wailing, singing. It was so fun. I was standing here just dying laughing. I was like, they are having a good old time. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So we started with purples. You can see our purple in the shadow. Burnt red. You can see that red. Then we went light umber. And now olive flesh. So you're getting all those colors. You're seeing that light umber act as kind of our dirt brown, right? But the purple and the red are still in there, giving us a lot of dimension to this color. I think those were the right choice. Then we'll do brown transparent from the top down. But the first thing we have to do, again, before the brown transparent, we got to do some edge highlighting on this guy. So we're going to take some of the olive flesh with the brush, do some edging real quick. How about them apples?
Ray Jason told me. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it. And that's awesome that you're close to being done. You really, though, need to have like at least one panic box where you just, at the very last minute, you got one box so you just start shoving stuff in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
The orc is done, man. We finished him. We can't paint orcs. We finished the orc. Orc is El Finissimo. Did all the leather yesterday. Had already done the base. Brightened up the red armor bits and stuff like that. I think I still got like these dag tooth or things, but they were pre-painted by the other guy, so they can live like that. I don't care. What we did is dirty white loincloth. Brighten up the flesh a little bit. Yeah. Darkened up, used purple transparent on the armor. Darkened up the shadows a little bit. Got that little bit of move into purple in the the deep recesses. Turned out good. Needs some matte varnish. He's good to go. Good to go. I like it when a plant comes together. Transparent's 2020. I like it. I like your style. Bronca Taraco. What is going on? Probably just totally butchered your name. Thank you for the follow. Our alert system is not working. I don't think Streamlabs is working. So I'm not sure what that's all about. So I apologize in advance for anybody that has followed or subbed or any of that great stuff and we've missed it. We are not ignoring you. We do appreciate it. Every now and then our notification system dies and we're kind of left out in the cold.
Just Hanley. Hello.
Come on, Jeff. How you been? I want to be here, camera. Can we do something about that? If you're just tuning in, we put a lot of texturing on this guy, so his armor is very chunky, dirty, 10,000 years old under the sand. And we are now painting all that up. Our edges are going to be very rough because there's texture on them, which is good. We don't have to worry so much. Our normal way of edge highlighting is going to be to kind of do dash, dot, dash highlighting anyway. The texture is going to do that for us. I can rub my brush completely across a line here on an edge, and I won't be able to paint the whole edge because there's so much surface texture on the model. We're going to be using our transparent paints over the top of this. This is why I'm going very bright and doing this edge highlighting now when the model's not really ready for edge highlighting, because we want to only do the transparent once if we can. And the transparent over these bright edge highlights will knock these down and give us a mid-tone highlight that we will then use to put our bright final highlight over the top of later. But right now, even though they'll be very subtle, they'll do the job we need them to do. Taper that off.
Cilantro pizza. Thank you for the follow.
That sounded very hard to say.
It's cilantro pizza. It's probably not pizza, really. But I see
we
pizza
try our
in it.
damnedest, though. Not gonna lie. I feel like we give it a good effort. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's enjoying your Friday night.
Twilight.
Glad you could come spend part of it with us.
Twilight Walker said, "Gotta say your paints are amazing. I'm painting up a Fire Slayer using only a Zorn palette of yellow ochre, bold pyrrole red, coal black, and bold titanium white.
Nice.
Good news is I'm learning a lot about color and mixing. Bad news is I got to figure out both how to do non-metal metallic and how to do it with only white and black.
Yeah, the Zorn palette is very, very easy to get to non-metallic with. You can make blues pretty easy, right?
Oh, that's definitely we definitely missed the opportunity on that one, Hanley. He said I saw the Pharma Pro Acryl commercial. Pharmacryl? Where was Monument Slowfuse sitting in a tub full of mahogany on top of a hill at sunset? We should have done that, where we were both in a tub filled with our own favorite color of paint, like these two random bathtubs sitting on a hill for no reason, and holding hands.
I feel like we did a good job of this.
I think we did.
I feel like we didn't have a budget for bathtubs on.
We didn't have that kind of budget.
I mean, I think
what?
That I feel like our advertising budget may not be what everybody thinks it is for some reason. Our advertising budget was $37.50. I'll be really honest with you. That's how much that video cost, not including my time to make it. $37.50.
We are
nice.
frugal here.
That's if you're nice and you don't include the cost of the software that I have to use to make that happen.
Cattle watering troughs with paint bottles in them and a cowboy hat leaning against one. That would be awesome.
Right, now on our shine lines that we created with the airbrush, remember that the airbrush, no matter what you do, I mean, if you build it up enough with the airbrush, you'll get to brightness that's equivalent to that same paint off the brush. But right now, what we're trying to do is we're going to recreate some of this shine with the brush. Just to brighten it up a little.
Clockwork, it's very noob friendly.
What is that?
Said how noob friendly is Pro Acryl.
Oh.
In my never ending quest to become great, I have purchased many paint lines, and scale 75 in particular is very weird to work with.
Yeah, their medium is very thick. Doesn't do what you think it's going to do. No, we've built our paint to literally be great for everybody.
Any type of painter.
You're just starting out. Most of the people that have tried it as their first or early on paints are just in love. And the great thing is that it can do everything you want it to do. So it's not you're not skimping, right? Like some paints that are like, oh, these are beginner paints, are a great price, let's say. But once you start getting better at painting, you wind up growing out of them. And I've never liked that idea. So the concept with Pro Acryl is that you buy our paint, you stick it. It might be the last paint you ever need.
That's what we hope, for sure.
Could very well be. But you don't got to worry about it anymore. Last paint I'll ever need.
I mean, I think we, like you and I, have the range of experience, and we both use them.
Yeah, Jen is
with
still
success.
what I would call a fairly new painter,
new,
right?
Yeah.
She's only been painting for a few years and not ever at a clip where she paints every day. So she is a great example of having, picked it right up, had it do everything that it needed to do. I would hand our paints to any painter of any level and feel equally as confident that they would enjoy it and see the benefits right away. Obviously, if you've never painted before, you're not going to know the difference, but you'll be very happy with what you get.
Just Hanley said I actually gave away my full line of P3 paint today to a friend that was using craft paints. He needed something better for painting minis, and I only ever use Pro Acryl now.
I love it. Mr. Hanley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a great one. Thank you, all you guys and gals.
Yeah.
Support what we do here. Without you, there's no us. We sure like having an us.
We do.
All right, so you can see what we're doing. We're just dialing in those edges. It pulls our airbrushing into focus, and it's going to give a really good basis for the transparent to lay over the top. And even though these edges that we're doing here will get dimmed down, they won't be near as bright. They won't be our final highlights. They will do a lot of work for us, even still.
We'll add that to the list of ideas. Grace said, when's the Pro Curl cost parody video? Brush $14.95, paint $4 a bottle. Knowing you own the best hobby supplies, priceless.
Not a bad idea. A lot of commercial low-hanging fruit out there for sure. Bad commercials are a dime a dozen.
I'm excited about our next one.
Clockwork! Treasure chest filled with bold pyro red bottles. What? For science, thank you, man. Thanks for putting up with my it takes forever to get an Australian shipment hand done. You need the elusive unicorn sticker. Is that the only one you need? Zombie brush? Oh, Lordy, we can show you. She is still working on her bombshell. Oh, she's looking good, too. Such a great model.
Nothing is changing.
Huh?
I feel like nothing is changing on it.
Are you just working on highlights and such now? Take bigger jumps.
Yeah, I need to. I think on the purple I'm going to. And then maybe go over it with transparent.
It's easy to fall into that trap where you start mixing and blending your highlights and you do 16 colors and you never really feel like you jumped and got any pop or contrast out of it. Sometimes you just got to take the jump and do something bright.
Yeah.
Do it thin, blend it in. I love the colors.
So much, like, metal.
It's all metal.
Well, I mean...
Her t-shirt and then metal.
Yeah.
And the beer mug.
But I'm looking at, like, yours and really using that to know where the metallic stuff is and where...
Yeah, because it's pretty much all metal.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a robot suit thing.
Big power armor suit. It's a great model, though.
It's really fun.
Got a lot of character.
Yeah.
Nice, oh lordy.
Awesome. Did you order on my birthday and get the free 1 ounce scoop?
Oh, perhaps. Yeah, we haven't heard from anybody that was able to partake in your birthday special. We snuck Jen's birthday special in on people. They weren't ready for it.
It was supposed to be a surprise. I like this idea too. We're going to add this to the list. I want to see a used car salesman style commercial selling pro acryl out of the back of a Chevette, wacky wavy inflatable arm guy, maybe Jason in a chicken suit.
I definitely like the chicken suit idea. I really like the Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stupid used car craziness is always good. Chicken suit or whatever. We'll just go to like some costume. And what's the cheapest thing to rent that's crazy?
Yeah.
You know, be like a weird clown suit.
Lunar Magi, there are 3 stickers. And if you have ordered more than once and you've gotten the same sticker each time, I'm sorry. I don't keep track. I put them in a stack. They're randomized in a stack, and I just grab off the top of the stack and put it in order.
Yep. You get what you get.
Yeah. There's no way I'd be able to keep track of that.
You get what you get.
But yeah, there's there's the monument, and then there's also the unicorn and the snail. Jason in sunglasses and an overcoat selling pro curl from the jacket, then opening the Chevette trunk for go bags. Yeah, because the bags are always in the trunk. A big coat that you open up, instead of having like jewelry in it, it's just got paint.
Psst, psst, hey, you. Want to buy a watch?
None of the other guys have stickers. Yay!
Want to buy a watch? I gotta be honest, man. We do everything that's fun for us.
Yeah, we
know?
do.
Like, legit, like, it's a very selfish thing. Like, we love stickers. I would love to get stickers. I never
love
get
stickers.
So let's give people stickers. It's that easy.
Do you know what? You know that I put that new little shelf in my office at home?
Uh-huh.
And in one of the little cubbies are my sticker books from when I was like in 5th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I looked through them the other day. It's funny.
Everybody can love a good sticker.
Yeah.
I always find, like, drawers or boxes that have stickers that I never even stuck anywhere. So I was always like, ooh, these will be cool doing this, and then you never do it.
And then you don't do it, yeah. I know, like we said, we were going to put stickers all over the fridge and up here. And we've got 1 sticker on it.
Oh, yeah. That was just because we bought a $25 refrigerator. So
Well,
I was
yeah.
like, shop refrigerator cost us $25. I think I paid the guy $40 because he delivered it.
He delivered it, yeah.
And it has lasted 2 years.
It's a good fridge. You don't need it to do anything other than
Great fridge.
keep our lunch
Clean
cold.
it was disgusting.
It was gross. It smelled pretty bad, but
It beat $25 fridge. Might have bought a quick round of crack, but it was still a good fridge.
Rinse Vomit has our stickers on his water bottle and wet palette lid.
Nice. We see that a lot. Wet palette lid stickers.
Yeah.
Toolbox stickers. I've been doing this for years, right? Like I love stickers. So with my motorcycle company, I was always giving people stickers.
And we found some of those. We were going to put those in random
I got a
boxes
ton,
too.
yeah.
There's a really good one of like a little, what is that little creature that's...
Oh, it's he was a little flip-off guy from the 70s. He was the not the Keep on Truckin', but the I forget what it was. There was a thing that he was related to. He was flipping everybody off.
Pandaran said, sorry if I missed it, but was there an update on the Element Games shipment? I just saw that the new dispatch date is late October. When I placed my all-in order on your colors, they said late September. Are they already sold out, or was there a general pushback?
No, and we've been answering this a lot. So they made a mistake when they launched. It wasn't supposed to go up for sale at that time. And so what happened is that we talked and we were like, okay, well, what are you going to do? You know, we got people ordering product already. We can't ship it any quicker. And say like, well, we're just going to, you know, switch it over to later in the month. You know, so it's right in the October time frame. That's the correct one. It's unfortunate that, you know, they kind of let it out of the bag a little quick there. But no, you didn't miss out on anything. It didn't sell out. You'll get your stuff. It's just a matter of they put it up too quick. Everything's still moving along. We got the order in. We're building for that order now. Of course, their paint, you know, for that order is at the same exact timeline that paint in our store is. So transparency lag a little bit on that, but everything else is going really well. Starting the week of the 21st, we'll be doing production even hotter than we're doing now, and then we hope to be shipping out soon after that.
No, it's not that. It's not Killjoy.
No, not Killjoy.
Ray said
Ratfink.
Huh?
No,
I don't
it's
know
not
what
Ratfink.
is.
It's obscure. Nobody really knows about him. It's the little green monster that is flipping you off. Legs look pretty good. Arms and upper body, and then we'll spray some transparent. I'd like to make sure we get that on here before we quit for the night. Crazy that it's already like closing in on 7:30. Like nuts. How in the world did that much time go by?
Oh, we're very excited for you guys all to get it too over there. Thank you for the support already.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's huge. We've never, unfortunately, been able to really, even with the distribution we had in the past in the UK, it was always very spotty.
Yeah.
So it was tough for us to be able to guarantee stuff in stock, and now it'll be a lot better. You know, they're an independent retailer, so obviously if they don't place orders, there won't be stuff. But we can deal with them, and they have an incentive to always have it in stock if it's selling, right? Whereas a standard warehouse that's just shipping your stuff, there's still an incentive. It's not near as big, right? better for us to have somebody over there that's making good profit on our stuff. So the incentive's in the right place to keep it in stock, keep it moving, keep good customer service. I think those guys are really going to do a great job with it. They're really excited.
Dan Leonard, or Dan Leonardi, thank you for the follow.
And if you're just tuning in, we are setting up this Necron for a little bit of transparent action to go over the top of this. We had chat tell us what color they wanted, and I think it came out to a neat idea of kind of a sandy brown, tan, beige, blah 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 type coloring. And so that's what we're doing. We started with purple, dark purple, then we moved into burnt red. Now we're doing the bright olive flesh, but you can see like we've got purples and reds in our shadows, then moving into our browns, and then finally this olive flesh that gives it that, you know, that almost white kind of flare to it. But the purple and the red are really what's making this happen. I'm really, really in love with that color, that basis for doing this tan, and we're going to shoot brown transparent over the top of this to bring it back down into kind of a dirty coloring. And the brown, when you thin it out, gets a little bit of an orange and yellowy feel to it, which is going to be really nice. It's going to bring back that kind of sandy color if we do it right. So I'm excited to get you to the point where we can see that before we get out of here tonight.
Do we have local stores that are going to carry our stuff?
What's that?
Do we have any local stores that are going to carry our stuff?
Yes,
like right out of the gate?
Funkatronic Rex, Athoria Games are very interested in it. I think we're going to open them. Games U carries our stuff now. They
don't carry the paint, though.
What's that?
They don't have paint.
They carry paint, but they don't have racks, right? So they haven't displayed the new bottles. But they still have some old bottles of paint.
Oh, do they?
You know?
Oh.
So, but yeah, they haven't ever displayed the new bottles. They said they were going to come up with a way to do that. That never happened. And we haven't had display racks for them, so we've kind of faltered on that. I'll take the blame. When we changed the bottle size, we kind of threw a wrench in that. But our new display racks will be finished here in the next couple of weeks. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to start reaching out. Well, as soon as that's done and the order to Element Games is out the door, we're going to start reaching out to retailers all over North America. And so you'll start seeing in major cities across North America, including Canada. I should just say the U.S. and Canada. We don't have any Mexico yet.
Yeah.
Slated. But in the U.S. and Canada, you'll start seeing game stores opening up towards the holidays, hopefully. Our big push this year was intended to be, prior to COVID, that's what we would be doing. We would be making sure you could get Pro Acryl in your local gaming store. It's still our goal. Just that all the lockdown stuff kind of put a hindrance on that, from a how the hell do we get the product made to what stores are still open. Believe it or not, there's a bunch of new stores opening.
That's good.
I think that unfortunately COVID had a bunch closed down, and so it's created a vacuum where new business owners are stepping in, so that will be exciting to be a part of.
Any updates on the foam paint tray?
Huh? I don't speak that language. What are we talking about? No, I'm still waiting on confirmation for the bag colors. That's lingering a little bit longer than I wish it was. Not really anybody's fault. Factory's a little slow on letting us know. As soon as we get that dialed in, I'll be placing the order. But we're probably 90 to 120 days out. Still. In manufacturing right now, that's the 2 weeks kind of thing that everybody wants to tell you. 2 weeks. No, really. 90 to 120 days.
Yeah.
Factories that are, haven't been closed down and that are in good business sectors are just jammed, right? Like literally jammed with business. Now that stores, traditional shopping center stores are not where everybody's shopping online, so all of these people are trying to get products in their online stores as quickly as they can. Has a big impact on us. It's good that most of our manufacturing partners have been doing good business. It means that they're not going anywhere. Cross our fingers. Like I got the in this brush. I had one. Made the big mistake of coming over here to my brush cup today and jiggling it around a bunch.
Why would you do that?
Well, good question. I don't have a good answer for that either. Feel like it made it to where the brush that I really wanted hid itself from me. Either that or I just need to clean this brush again. I'm not going to say which is the truth.
Onikaji said, any update on your matte finish medium? Another company in the market made a horrendous PR mistake, and I'm in the market for a new brand.
If I had $1 for everybody right now that was like, hey, do you have a way to replace AK Interactive product for me? I'm just going to call them out.
Yeah, I'm like, just say it.
Stupid
do it.
Mistake on their part. Worst advertising move I've ever seen in the history of ever, I think. Well, no, that's not true. I've seen people implode worse than that, but that's pretty bad. Yeah, we get a lot of messages. So, unfortunately, it's not on the timeline. It's very difficult for me to scoot it up on the timeline because it would then interpose itself on primers. And primers are much more important to me right now. But, yes, we will have our Ultra Matte varnish that you will super enjoy. But you will have to make do for a minute. Trust me, because the AK Ultramat was the preferred airbrush varnish for me for a long time. I'm right there with you.
Give it a goog. It's something you should see for yourself. Do they still have stuff up about it?
The book.
Yeah.
They took all the other stuff down.
Did they?
Eventually, I think, yeah. They finally caved and realized that telling people that I'm sorry you were offended is probably not the right way to get people happy again. In today's day and age, it's not very, not necessarily the most fair way to handle it, but Wish that stuff didn't have to happen. But I can guarantee you the easy way to avoid it is to not put out commercials like that. Probably that I'm using this sable when I should be using a synthetic for what I'm doing right now because of all the texture we put on this model. It's eating this sable alive, destroying the tip as I'm trying to paint fine lines on this very rough stuff. That's my problem. Replay says you need to get primers done so I can stop annoying you about them. I mean, that's one reason. That's one reason. Lemon S, what's going on? Gently remind Jason later about the mic video. Oh, I'm supposed to have that done like by tomorrow, right? Arg.
What video?
We got to do a quick video, like literally just a very quick spot, you and I.
Oh.
It's on my calendar, and I keep doing the snooze. I can't snooze anymore. I've reached the end of my snoozes. Thank you for the reminder.
I would have been able to remind him sooner, but he didn't tell me about this, so.
Yeah, I'm really bad about that kind of crap. These are a pain right here. Ack. We did it. Drewski, am I going to do some sort of glow effect? Yeah, probably. I mean, yes, not probably. Yes, we will. I have not figured out, like, on all the bits what we're going to do. But, yeah, you know, the sword, blade, and the gun, all that. Huge eyes. I don't know if we'll go in and do, like, full-on, like, glow coming out between the ribs and such, but maybe. Put it past us.
Twisted Smile 44, thank you for the follow.
Brush is really bad too. All right, Fuse. Quit freaking messing around. Just grab a brush that makes the difference here. Let's. Do I have a det cord number 2 in here? Really what I want. No, but I have a million number 3s. That'll work. Ooh. 2. Dun, dun, dun. This will be the holy grail.
The 3.
These are the ancient slow fuse gaming deck chords. Drewski says, so when's the next stream continuing this guy? Most likely Tuesday. We have not been doing Sunday streams, unfortunately, only because we are continually bottling paint. Jen and I are doing paint all weekend, so it doesn't leave me with any time to jump out and do the stream, unfortunately. I wish we could. But as soon as we get paint back in line and stock is back and where we want it, then we'll add the Sunday stream back in. Oh, show. Oh, look at me. So amazing when you grab the right brush. The texturing that we've done on this guy really makes it difficult for a sable to perform well. The sables are so soft that as you drag them across really rough textures, the tip distorts. And as that tip distorts, causes all sorts of problems with not being able to then, keep the line tight, and you're trying to fight the line with the shape of the model because of all this texture, blah, blah, blah. So in a perfect world, I would have been I'm not a smart man, but in a perfect world, I would have grabbed the synthetic brush much earlier. Better Nate than Lever.
Yes.
Anybody but me remember that little joke story?
No.
I feel like I'm the only one. It was about a runaway train. There was a lever, and was going to hit the lever and destroy the world. Nate the snake jumped on the track, derailed the train, so it didn't hit the lever.
I don't know why you keep looking at me like I'm going to magically understand this.
I think you do. You just don't want to admit it.
Not a thing I know.
I look at you because I want to include you in the things in my life.
Okay.
Jeez, but I won't do it anymore.
I feel like you
Jeez.
I feel like you do this though, where you look at me like, come on, you gotta know this too.
Yeah, because we're teammates
forget,
and you're supposed to lie for me.
But you forget who you're talking to.
We're teammates. You're supposed to lie for me. You're supposed to say, "Oh yeah."
Oh,
honey.
that. Yes, I remember.
See how easy that is? Painless.
But then what if someone asks me a question?
Well, you look bad.
Like I'm gonna do that. That's why I. Weird.
Just take it on the chin.
It's
there,
a weird plan you've got there.
Take one for the team.
I don't know if I'm not loyal to the team.
Doesn't that sound like vacuuming?
Yeah.
Like, how could they be vacuuming that much? It's like, I think it's a sander.
Oh, it could be that, yeah.
I think he's sanding wood or something, because it happens like too much for it to be vacuuming. You can't possibly be vacuuming up there. Unless they're vacuuming up the cleanup after the bodies or something. I'll put anything out of reach of possibility, but
So
if we weren't here at the very beginning when we were talking about it, we might have found a new building. For everybody that's been here for a long time, you'll be like, wait a minute, didn't you just
get it?
situated in this building? And the answer would be yes. But we have already outgrown this building.
We were rather unprepared.
Eventually, everybody's going to get wise to the fact that this is just really bad planning on our part, and they're not going to feel sorry for us anymore.
We're new. So, you know. Oh, it's still close.
Ray, no, we moved clear across town, man. Sorry.
I was trying to think. Let me think of how many miles this is, because you could probably still ride a bike.
It's probably 2.5 miles from here.
No, I'm thinking from there. So like if we go from 7th Ave to, so it could be like 2 miles down Indian School and then a half a mile. It might be like 2.5 miles, maybe 3, maybe 4. 4 at the most. At the most.
Or 10.
No, it's definitely not 10.
It'll be 10.
It's definitely not 10. I was mathing in my head, counting the streets and the distance.
He's like, wait a minute. I just am. Wait. Can't do that to me.
It would be east on Indian School.
You'll love it. There's an apartment complex right outside the door.
I think they're probably very expensive apartments.
What's that?
If these next door now are expensive,
Oh, those will be
those
worse.
are going to be like double.
Oh, really?
I would say so.
Is it
Because they're
like
newer.
better area over there?
They're newer. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
I have no clue on all that.
yeah.
My knowledge of what the hip and trendy areas of town is little to none. You wouldn't know it by looking at me.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to move to Goodyear. Sorry.
Goodyear? Who said that?
Black Wolf.
Oh, you live out there, don't you? Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
I don't know what the name of the complex is over next door. It's really nice though. But yeah, the building is, it's good.
Cross your fingers for
Yeah.
us. We gotta start talking to him, but it sounds like they really want us.
It sounds like they, I mean, he was thinking about it before we met with him even, so.
Yeah, he had a plan, so I'm a fan of that.
We're very,
They like
very
us, we
lucky.
like them. Life is good.
Yeah, we have really,
Our
really
current landlord
good.
is spectacular.
They're amazing. Like, we really lucked out.
Every time we talk to him, we figure out that he and
Oh my
I
gosh.
must have met.
That you were at the same place.
Yeah, he and I have had to have met because we've been to the same shows at the same years.
Yeah, they figured out today that they were at a concert back in the 80s. Like, they were both at the same small show, right? It was a small concert.
Small punk rock show at the
was
NSA, the
playing,
National Skateboarding Association.
Yeah.
That was run by Tony Hawk's dad.
Jason was playing in a band, and the owner of our building was doing like PR stuff, probably, right?
Well, he was the manager and tour manager for JFA.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you know any old skate punk stuff, JFA, Jodie Foster's Army.
Which is so funny because I even knew who they were.
He was their manager and business guy and all that.
Like their tour, like he owned their tour bus. Was
So
that
fun.
that was that band, right?
It's such
Did he
a
own the
small
tour bus?
world. What's that?
He owned their tour bus, he said.
Yeah, he owned the tour bus and the whole nine. He was Placebo Records. So.
Yeah.
Super fun. Find those kinds of things out. All right, let's do some transparent. I'm sick of doing outlining. Make it happen. Come on, Fuse, do the thing with the thing. All right, so there's where we sit so far. Got that real gritty, high texture going on the armor. Right, you can see it. Put that texture underneath on top of the primer. Right, and we've been painting on top of that. We have not textured any of the joints, none of the gun, nothing like that. We just put all of that on there with a brush. It's like, oh my God, your airbrush really messed up. Or it looks like when you prime a model and the primer messes up. But we didn't, right? We did that on purpose so that all of the armored carapace looks like real grimy, aged, ceramic or something that's been buried in the earth. And then all of the metal joints and all of the other parts will be smooth, non-metallic. Right? So we took the opportunity to do just kind of a really cool weathered underpinning for all of that. Now we're going to thin down some brown transparent and throw it over the top of this and see what we can make happen. Ta-da! Transparent brown. You do, Black Wolf.
What?
Do the thing we're all here for. Wait a minute, what? I'm not allowed to take my clothes off on the stream, though.
Wait a minute.
What body cleanup? Yeah, Jen would recognize the body cleanup sounds from all the Dateline.
What? Dateline doesn't actually show the cleanup.
Can't wait to see this thing transform under the transparent paints. Yep, we're about to do it. Can you do the shoulder and left hand orbs too, please? Mediocre? What are we talking about? Shoulder and left hand orbs too, please? What do you mean, with the glow? Is that what you're talking about with the OSL? Yeah, I would probably do OSL on the orbs in the shoulder plate and the fist there. I don't think I'll do the chest plate. I'll probably do eyes, glow on the orbs in the shoulder and the hand, and then, possibly the blade, because everybody's doing that, and the gun, right? I think the blade would do for some really good. We're going to have to wait until it all turns out and see what the glow color would be. I'm thinking blue. Right? I'm thinking like a cold blue glow on these guys would be really bitchin'. Because the idea that chat threw out is that all of the metal that we do, the claws and the joints and the spine and all that metal is going to be like a dark non-metallic silver with a green transparent over the top of it, so that it gives kind of that, very, very dull green read to it. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. So many orbs on Necrons, like gems on Eldar. Over it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured it out, right? The way that models develop for me is that we paint a little bit, we see what we like, and then we visit all the other colors and ideas as the model grows. I'm really kind of, what would we call that, right? I don't know what the term would be, but you see how that's kind of how I paint, right? I go into it with an idea. I want to do orange and green, but I really don't know what all the details and stuff are going to be like. It's not my style to think about every little bit of a model. I'll know that from the outset, oh, he's got a lot of glowy bits on him, so we'll have to do some glow, but I'm not really planning on what that color is or how many glowy bits. We may get this done, do some really cool weathering on the armor, get the non-metallic really done, and find out that glow really needs to be a small portion of this thing. And so we do really dull glow on those bits, or we do like one really bright area like the sword and everything else is really dull. I can see that. I like the idea that, you know, these guys, the Necrons, being buried forever as they wake up. Like, not everything is as pristine, you know? The lights aren't on as bright as they used to be. The batteries are a little dim, kind of a deal. Just tells a cool story to me. I don't know. I don't know anything about Necrons. I watch a little bit on the interwebs. All right, brown transparent. Here we go. Uno, dos, tres. Oh, okay, cuatro, because the bottle likes to do 4, it looks like. All right. We got 4. We're going to float the heck out of this in Flow Improver. Right? So it's not much paint at all. How little viscosity the transparents have. Right? 4 drops equals next to nothing. So we're going to throw a ton of Flow Improver in there. So 90% Flow Improver, 10% paint is where we're at. Let's just go with that. That sounds about right. Science. Math. Who knows? This is going to be so thin that it's going to let me, you know, layer it up, get a really good kind of yellowish brown, because the brown transparent, as you thin it way down, gives you a lot of that yellow, a little bit of that orange, a really warm brown. So I think it should work really, really good for us. Somebody earlier on had said, what about you in brown plus yellow? And I'm thinking that, you know, you'll get enough warmth out of this that the yellow won't be an issue. And then over the olive flesh, we'll get that kind of deserty tan at the end of the day, right? So we've got like our light umber, our olive flesh, and now we're going in with, right, transparent brown. But if I filter it over it like that, look at that, right? I get that yellowish out of there, real dirty. Dirty. All right, here we go, gang. Everybody hold your breath. Gonna ruin a model? Oh. Hold it back real far. Get that arm right over there first. Oh. 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 I'm only going to put it on the highlights first. I'm not going to shoot this into the shadows right away. I'll let it build up in the highlights. So I'm going to shoot it the same way we shot all of our bright color. All that olive flesh on here. Because I'm trying not to disturb our purple and our red too much. Making sure I hit it from all the angles from up top, and you know, kind of sidelong on it. Some is fine. Now look at that red and that purple. We haven't put the brown over the red and the purple, but we did put the umber into them a little bit. So we do have a little brown. The transparent brown will add just another layer of color, but I'm not going to shoot it directly into the shadows because I'm really liking the way the purple and the red are playing on the model.
I did say it. Dirty.
Catch the purple and the red coming out of the shadow on the cylinder of the arm there. Right, from up here, still lots of purple and lots of red.
What PSI? 22?
22. 22. And I'm just dusting it, right? Like there's barely any color coming out of this thing. Well, I say that. It's also very thin. Make sure anywhere that I got that olive flesh, that I get enough of this color going in there that I don't have any super pale areas.
Don't do what? What'd I do?
What'd I do?
I'm sorry.
What'd I do? Sounds like me. What'd I do? Wait a minute. What'd I do? Why is everybody yelling? Why is everybody yelling at me? What'd I do? I don't get it.
Oh, my dirty. That used to be a command in chat, and you'd hear me saying it. But it's gone now. It's been a long lockdown. Please don't do that, Jen.
How about that for really, really dirty, disgusting armor? Like a car that's been sitting out in the elements for too long. It's got a little bit of reflection left to it in a couple of spots, but nothing too over the top. That texture I'm loving.
Ooh, that spot like right there.
There?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Right, that little bit of glow on the leg. This I'm really liking. Again, the purple and the red right in here. You get a little bit of that purple way down deep, a little bit of that red, the browns, and then this kind of now the brown transparent with that yellowishness to it because we thinned it down so much. Gives us that nice dirt sand color. Like this looks like caked on, you know, crawled up out of the sand. Bingo. Oh,
That's really
I like
cool.
it.
And what does this go with?
What do you mean?
You said that it was it goes with something that you painted recently?
It's the other part of the set that came out recently that had all the Space Marines in it.
Okay.
It's not, doesn't like go with them technically.
Okay.
It's not part of the same army or
Gotcha.
anything. The Space Marine component is a different gig, but part of the same box set.
Zio Reimer wants to know what size is this model?
What size is the model?
Yeah.
It's on a 60 mil, 75 mil base. That's probably a 75 or 80 mil base. Somebody better versed with Warhammer would have to tell me. It's on the same base that the Eldar model is. These are the same size base. So he's I don't know, he's 3.5 inches tall or something like that. Not quite as tall as the Wraith Lord, but neat model. I'm really liking it. More and more as we dump color on it. So we kept all of our contrast really good. You can see why the purple and the red were so important. They give a lot more color to it in the recesses and the shadows. And then our tan really takes over, and we get the feel that, yes, it's a dirty tan model, right? But the reds and the purples start to jump out on it and make it look like those are colors that maybe the earth around it kind of added in as it was buried. 50 mil? That's more than 50 mil. 50 mil is only 2 inches. This has got to be 80. My ruler's over on my desk, so I can't tell you. But it's bigger than 50 mil. 50 mil are Terminators, dude. Right? This is not 50 mil? That's 40 mil. Yeah. I mean, because these are 40. Right? That's a 40 mil base. So it's 75, I would say. I'm going to go with 75.
GW Marketing says 50.
It is not.
65 50. According to Innominus assembly instructions.
Not possible. Maybe? I don't know.
Well, you said that's not the base that it came, like it didn't come with the base. But that's not the base.
I had to squeeze his legs in to make him fit on this base, though. He's got that tripod going on. Like, I guarantee this is the base size for him. Because he couldn't fit on anything smaller than this. I already had to squeeze his legs together and hold it while I super glued him on.
Wow.
But I'm pretty sure this is the base that it would have come with. And it may be 65. I don't know. I don't have my ruler here, so can't tell you.
Do you want me to go get it?
Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They'll figure it out. It's on a Dreadnought base size. Because it's the same base as the old Dreadnoughts had. All I know is that's 40. And this is...
Esau, thank you for that sub.
Yeah, this is the same size base. Thank you for all the subs and follows. We do not have our alerts on tonight for some reason. They have...
It's between 55 and 80, or 50 and 80 there, we settled.
Yeah, there, exactly. Yeah. Instructions say 65. I'll go with 65. Seems about right. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? It's nice and chunky, right? It's the good wheelhouse for painting because all the details, even though they can get finicky on Games Workshop stuff, this is at a good enough size that everything feels comfortable painting. You know, being able to go in and do the details like we've just done with the airbrush has been really easy. Now the key is, you know, figuring out how to manage our highlights. Do we go back to just the olive flesh? Would be a thing? Or is that going to get us too shiny? Dump a little bit on here and see.
Mini monster paints. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. Mini monster paints said I just got a bunch of paints from you guys. I'm super excited.
Freaking awesome.
Yay. Are you going to get to use them this weekend? We hope.
I think that works. I think the olive flesh works pretty well, actually. We'll just go right back with it. One of the nice things about the transparents is that you can just blend them right into your highlight color. You know, if you were to do a wash on a model like this, you wouldn't go and take the wash color and then mix it in with your paints to make your highlight. Your transparents you can do that with, though. So you've got a really, really nice capability to not have to worry about, oh, I just put Agrax Earthshade all over my model, and now I don't have a color that I can use as a highlight because Agrax Earthshade doesn't mix with anything.
Oh.
Most washes don't. They have a totally different consistency that doesn't like to interact with other paints when you mix. Not what they're for. Whereas our transparents are just paint, but they give you a really good...
Mini Monster Paints, by the way, is already using them, working on a Blight King.
Nice. Love to hear it.
BT Headshot said, so far I'm really loving the metallics I just got.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got to tell you, none of our paints fall behind. They're all top notch. We don't take any corners off of anything. Even though I don't use a lot of metallics, we still make sure that our metallics are the best that they can be. Yeah.
I use the metallics. I like them.
I think the olive flesh is still the best way to go. I'm
right.
not even going to mix anything with it. It makes this really, really simple. Hey, Ian, now I want to paint your Necron army. This is really bitching. I'm lying, but it sounds good at the time.
You said it. A lot of people heard you say it.
Oh, well.
It's out there. Ray Silver wants to know if olive flesh has replaced mahogany as the most used color on stream.
Yes, probably. I don't know. That might not be true. Probably then when you get a good paint that's consistent across all the colors that you don't really have, you know, we always joke, but you don't really have a favorite color anymore, right? Because they're all your favorite color, and they can be. Every paint works great, does exactly what you want it to do.
He told Mediocre Miniatures that he wanted to paint what I don't even know. I can't repeat it.
Because I didn't say it. I don't even know what you're lying about.
It
over
was
there.
something about he wanted to paint his army for him or something because he really likes painting
All
this.
I hear is
so.
blah, 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 lie, blah, blah, blah. Jeez. Trying to get me in trouble. Trying to get me in trouble, chat.
Drewski, that's awesome. Drewski said that BT Headshots showed the metallics on stream, and he went and bought a set right away.
I saw that on Instagram. I responded to you on Instagram how awesome that was.
cool.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Sorry about the transparents. They're coming up. Restock on those is coming soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a schedule, right, of refill and bottling. And the transparents were way at the bottom. And then John Ninus did a video.
He did that awesome video, and they sold out.
Like, we literally
super
looked
fast.
at them and made a conscious decision that, oh, yeah, we're
Like, we're
fine with
fine.
transparents
Yeah.
for at least another month and a half or 2 months. And then all of a sudden it was like, where'd all the transparents go? Why am I getting alerts that transparents are out of stock? You know? It's like, oh,
Oops.
God, that's horrible. So, yeah, it's a good problem to have, but we're working hard to make sure that that isn't a thing that you have to worry about too much longer.
It has been clipped.
Not possible.
Can't get out of this one
Completely
now.
impossible that I would say anything of the sort.
And thank you for following. I feel like this is backwards, and that it might be like Gurgamy or something. It's Imagurg.
I'm okay with that.
Imagurg. Gurgamy. Oh, Ian said that he'd settle for just the methodology on this. He said it looks really good. Right? Is that what you mean by the matrix? Is the methodology where he puts the different colors?
We do a color matrix too.
Oh. Well,
I've only done a couple of them.
Then
on
that's
the Marines.
that's all he wants then.
The color matrix of all the colors I do on this, easy, done. I don't know why I'm doing anything nice for him. He gave it to me without a base or instructions. Bastage. You know how hard these snap fit models are to put together without instructions, for crying out loud?
It looks right to me, but I really wouldn't know. So
What's that?
the way you put it together.
Oh, I got it right. Yeah.
Oh.
I was staring at a picture on the internet. It wasn't hard. It was like literally 6 pieces. It was not that big a deal. They make the box sets nowadays are like these, you know, I don't want to say for kids, but they're for beginners. They're all press fit, they call them. So you don't even have to use glue. I did.
Oh.
I cut all the press fit parts off and glued them together because I hate
So
press
it's like
fit.
Gundam.
Yeah, kind of like Gundam. I think that GW has somebody there that really loves Gundam and thinks that Bandai owns the world of modeling and they should do everything and emulate Bandai in every way possible because they're working with Bandai now. They really do go out of their way to make these press fit things, and I'm like, oh God. I hate them. I glue my Gundams though, so I'm a horrible human being. What do you think? I think the olive flesh is the great choice, and we just then really backtrack our highlights with the olive flesh to retreat them into really, really small amounts, right? We get a little bit of shine on that armor, but really lets the texture play in there. The texture keeps it very dull. If we were to put a lot of olive flesh on here, it wouldn't make sense because the texture shows me that not a lot of light would reflect back at you on these sections, right? So if you're just coming in or if you've just been hanging out and hadn't really paid attention, look at all the texture we put on the armor. Right? So we have to be very careful because if you go too bright, you'll start to not make sense. You're like, wait a minute, rocks don't shine like that when they're that rough. Why is this armor? But I like a little bit of shine on it, just kind of like, you know, I don't know, like almost like the pitting is in there. It's not dirt on the model. It's not rust on the model. It's that being buried in the earth for so long has turned this, you know, armor that he has. It's just pitted it. You know, like finding driftwood that has chunks in it, you know, where the mineral deposits and everything have built up. Right? So the color's still there. I really dig that. I think the shine works really nice. Do it really dull like that. Get away with that on the whole model.
What is? Where's his like face? That's his face. Okay. So are his legs backwards? I don't
crab
understand what's happening here.
It's like crab legs.
Okay.
They're more like arms than anything else. There you have
cool.
it.
I don't understand
It's quitting
it,
time, but we know what we're doing. We got it done really well. I'm really enjoying it. Make sure I clean out the brown transparent because I don't think we need any more. I think I really, really like this coloring. So we're going to leave it.
Mediocre Miniature said, I'm pretty sure you have the instructions book with your half of the box. He said he does owe you a base.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me? Oh, maybe I do.
A base on something, but can bring one by
That's
whenever.
true. That probably is true that I have the instruction book because I think it does have both armies in the same book. Now I think about it. Oh, I don't know. Is that true? Is that true? Because the last one wasn't true. The last one had the Death Guard and the other guys separate. Are you sure about that? Yeah, there's like 2 other miniatures here too. So I can't bitch too much because I got like 3 miniatures out of it still.
Zio Reimer said, any suggestions on how to keep the wife from using all the pro acryl for her crafting hobby? And then Ray said, buy her a set, which I think is yeah, that's a good suggestion.
I generally show
Like,
them
we'll
the fact
just
that
buy
the craft
you-
paints at
I'll buy
Michael's
you
are
your
about
own.
like 1/10 the cost, and that generally has them quit
Well,
using
that's
your
what I was
expensive
gonna.
paint.
That's kind of what I was getting at. It's like, well, we can spend more money to get you your own paint.
I like the fact that she knows quality when she
Yes,
sees it, though. It's hard to wean them
exactly.
off of a good paint. That's the problem. You've made the mistake of a lifetime by letting her use it at all.
Rancid Vomit said they are in the same book. However, if you split the box, the instructions share a page. It's both in the same book. I don't know what this means, but
Yeah, we split the box, but he had 2 boxes, so I think I got the whole book.
oh,
Because he has the whole book and I have the whole book. I think. I'm not going to say that, though, because then it makes it like my fault that I didn't have instructions and that I sat here and stared at the picture and was like... So I'm going to blame Ian anyway. So Ian didn't tell me when he dropped the model off that I had the instructions. And then it didn't have a base, and that just completely threw me into a tailspin. There.
this is the risk that
I'm vindicated
you take when you befriend Jason.
when you deal with Ian.
You think, oh, it'll be so cool.
If anybody's supposed to
So
throw me
cool
under the
to
bus,
hang
it sure
out
isn't
with.
supposed to be you. Wait a second. Whose friend are you anyway? Remember, you have to go home with me and watch Dateline. I might get some more ideas tonight. You guys, like, if Jen just stopped showing up, you would never call 911, would you? You need the rest of your models back at some point? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, see, Ray, at least that there's an exchange at that point. So you have to balance. Is it worth it?
I feel like I'm really getting the short end of the stick here. I feel like
I
everybody's
love
like,
it. I think it's awesome.
bastards, all of you. I quit. Piece of shit job, I quit.
I enjoy working with Jason, even when he gropes me sometimes. I keep threatening to contact HR. He tries to tell me that he's HR, and then I tell him that I'm HR. It's a daily thing.
I have actually worked as HR for Games Workshop.
Yeah.
That's got to be the scariest thing you've ever heard in your life. If they put me as I was HR for the West Coast at Games Workshop, we had to immediately like hire somebody to work underneath me to actually do the HR for the West Coast. That was not. I told them very quickly on. I was like, that probably isn't your smartest move ever. I mean, I get that you might think I'm good at the things I do, but that might really be a bad move. Could we hire an assistant that does that for me?
Squeezel, I'm wearing them today, too.
She's wearing my face pants.
Ray said it's groping in my future. I mean, I may not say no. I don't know. Like, so all of the like my work that I do is in a separate room, so I really don't know what happens with him and Blake in this room. And Blake's not here right now. He's
Only
off,
really good stuff.
He's off getting married, so we can't ask him.
I mean, it can't be that great because he's still going to get married. So
That's true.
You know, could. I didn't do all the right things. I mean, he still chose her over me.
Yeah.
Mediocre says I may be getting a whole new sprue because that one was broken. Well, yeah, see? Like, you gave me broken miniatures, too. What kind of friend are you? Anyway. They were all in one piece when I got them. But yeah, broken miniature. Ah, the time I had to waste doing that. Gravy Stain, great name.
Gravy
What's
Stain.
going on?
You better watch it, Ray. Jason is not single. And you might think that there's a threat from him doing some groping, but I'm going to have my eye on you.
Oh, God, here we go. I feel like this is not going to end well. Right? This is an HR nightmare. So there's what we've done tonight, gang. It is quitting time. So take a good gander. We'll be working on him more on Tuesday. We'll finish up all the highlighting that I didn't get a chance to do here today. And keep migrating around, and then we'll figure out all of the non-metallic. The next step will be to start doing all of the joints and all of that, which is this is one of those, it's a real frustrating model because you want to be able to airbrush all the carapace, but all of the bones and the infrastructure that's going to be non-metallic, that is all inside that. So it's like painting the armor before you paint the skin, and the skin's all really tight inside the armor. So it's going to be a real frustrating one. It's going to take some time. But it's going to be worth it. I'm really glad that we chose to do it this way. I really love the purple and the red, the way it's playing inside of our fake tan that we created. And hopefully it gave you a really good way to see what the transparents can do for you, how we just kind of very quickly airbrushed all of this, did the fast edge highlight, then put the brown transparent over the top. And you notice how now our edge highlighting on all of these areas still shows, but it's a nice mid-tone edge highlight, right? It became darker. And now we go back with the olive flesh down here, and you can see what a big difference it is just with a pinch of the olive flesh on the legs down here versus like this arm, right? The arm's got that good brightness, but without that olive flesh, it just seems dull now. So we just go back and rework that olive flesh in a little bit. Then we'll start doing the non-metallic, and then we'll start doing the glow on the swords and blah, 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 blah. So, hooray, I like it. I like it.
Thanks for that follow, Agent Justice.
Agent Justice, thank you so much. So Dose Day will be back again at 2 p.m. Pacific here working on this guy. And, yeah, that's it. No stream on Sunday again because we're filling paints. Stick with us. Let's show you what Jen's doing. That one.
So I really like this.
Ooh, the purple really jumped up off of there.
Yeah, but it was harder to do on this side because of all these little things that are like getting in the way.
That's the ammo for the gun.
So
I think it looks great, though.
It didn't work out as well.
I think really jumping up to your brightness was your problem, right? That really got it. Now you got your brightness on there.
Yep.
The magenta and stuff looks really, really good. Yeah, the purple is bitching now. Same, jump up a little bit with your jade into turquoise or something like that and get your very bright spots. Yeah. And I think you'll love it.
I put a little bit of dark back in because it was getting too bright in some spots.
Nice.
So.
I like it. Good colors. Have the that one. And there we go. That's stems for the nights. Thank you guys and gals so much for sticking around with us on a Friday night, spending some time watching paint dry. Hopefully we showed you some stuff that's pretty cool. Again, exclamation point store in chat will take you over to monumenthobbies.com where you can get yourself some of these paints that you've been seeing us use, all of our Pro Acryl paints. We'll be making more over the weekend. Holy hell. We got 4 more colors that we're bottling up over the weekend. Some more stuff in stock. Yay.
Yay.
Everybody clap your hands. And then we'll be back again on Tuesday. So we hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. Don't go doing anything we wouldn't do, but make sure you have a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Stay sane. Be nice to each other.
For this stream.
Make sure to be nice to everybody. And then we'll catch you on the flip side on Tuesday. Thanks, guys. Love your face. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Adios.